Well, there we go. Season has ended. Games have been played. Hearts have been broken. Trophies have been won. But who's the real winner? We shall see as we welcome you to the review of the full season here on Sportsmania. Let's go.
Priceless gem!
Yes, welcome to the show, everybody. So, yes, this is the final award show of the season. It's going to be a big one. There's plenty to talk about. So, just to let you through, we'll have some end of season awards. We're going to have some chats about final thoughts. We're going to have our teams of the season. And we're going to find out which of our team has won the season on predictions. So you'll find out some of our predictions. It's going to be chaos. Let's introduce you to the panel first. We've got Abdi. How's it going, mate?
Can't complain. It's been a fantastic weekend. Liverpool lost the Champions League final. Real Madrid won, number 14. Nottingham Forest back in the Premier League. So, yeah, happy days.
Couldn't go wrong with it at all. Back on the show as well. Luke, how's it going?
Sorry, I'm
all
here.
good. Yeah, I'm all good.
My phone's going a bit mad. Sorry.
Yeah. Hello, George. Well,
Yeah,
you're here as well. How's it going?
I'm good, mate. You?
Yeah, all good, my friend. All good. And welcome back to the show. Lottie, how's it going?
Sorry, I'm talking to myself again. I muted myself.
I'm muted.
I'm all good, Hubert. How are you?
Oh, excellent. I'm all good. Ready to basically talk.
It's not a show without me talking to myself. Muted, hey.
We've all done that. It's a classic thing. The phrase "you're on mute" should be in the dictionary after the few years we've had. It's pretty much. Boris Johnson has helped that phrase a lot. Right, there we go. So first of all, I'm curious to see how long this feature will take. It's going to be exciting. Abdi, as a Man United fan, give us your thoughts on.
Hold on, let me get the popcorn.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm actually. I don't think I'll keep it too long. It probably will because of questions. No, I'll probably get some questions along the way. But overall, it literally had so much promise, but ultimately fell apart completely. A lot of weird things. I don't know. Just a frustrating season that I don't really want to look back on, but I will in this little short space, and then afterwards we're done with it, and then we can move forward. But started off summer transfer window, brought in the likes of Jadon Sancho, who we've been chasing for 2 years before that. Rafael Varane on a decent deal, bargain probably. And then afterwards, the return of the prodigal son, Cristiano Ronaldo, came home, and everything was rosy, everything was happy. Until it all fell apart very quickly. Solskjaer got sacked in November time. We lost loads of games to the likes of Leicester 4-2 away. Liverpool smashed us 5-0. City played us off the park. Watford, I was there, unfortunately, smacked us Solskjaer's last game. And then it was just a very poor decision to keep him on for as long as we did when we were going through that time in terms of when they sacked him, because at that point it wasn't the best time to sack him. They should have sacked him during the international break to have more time to actually prepare for to get things in place to move forward in the season. But ultimately they didn't, and they chose to hang on, and they said, let's ride through it, things can only get better. No, it didn't. It got much worse than that. And then we had the Champions League game away at Villarreal, a pivotal one. If we didn't win, I think we wouldn't have gone through or something. Michael Carrick took caretaker boss he was the interim manager at that point. Managed to steady us through, got us through a tricky game against Chelsea away. Managed to win against Arsenal in his final game, and then afterwards he left the club completely as Ralph Rangnick came in. so much promise with this Ralph Rangnick coming in, but ultimately the news from, I believe it was yesterday, that he's gone completely from the club. Honestly, now it's just a waste of time. Everything that happened from when he came in to this point, basically, has just been a huge waste of time because, unfortunately, a lot of United fans were excited not by the fact that Ralph Rangnick was coming in to coach and do all that. It was more the actual job he was going to do during the summer window. He was going to help, like, because of the likes of people he scouted and brought into other clubs who became top stars and flipped them off for profit and made more money on them from like the Red Bull projects and all that. The coaching side could have been better. A lot of it, I feel like I could go into a lot of detail on that, but there's too much to even for me to wrap my head around that went on with that side of things. But the main thing was we were excited about him actually moving upstairs and becoming part of the board or sporting director or something. They already watered it down straight away by saying he'd go into a consultancy role. We were like, all right, sure, fine. He'll still be part of the club. He can help out. And then towards the end of the season, it was like he was going to have the Austrian job manager. Like he was going to become the manager of Austria, and they will do the consultancy role with the Austrian role. And then that then led to where we are now. Apparently, he said he's no longer going to be with the club, and ultimately, I think he pissed off too many people. And I think the reason why Man United fans love Ralph so much was not because of the results, because honestly, that could have been a lot better. But he was very honest. He never lied to us. He told us how it was. He told us the truth. Maybe he was too honest for his own good. And I think he pissed off a lot of people within the club that ultimately it just wasn't going to work for him anymore over there. And it is frustrating that basically you look back at it, season was completely written off. It was written off in November when they did decide to go for another interim manager. We know how it ended last time. Solskjaer started off well, ultimately fell apart again. You know, it's the way it goes. It's a vicious cycle of United. They need to stop going down this interim manager route. If they do sack a manager, bring in someone else, let them start and do what they need to do. I understand that the right manager wasn't available at the time and all that, but yeah, there's a lot to wrap my head around. If anyone wants to pick up on anything and ask any questions, feel free.
Well, one question. So there really for two questions really. So the season has been as it has been. We're going to go to Luke in a minute on his thoughts, but I need to know from you, my friend, what do you need to happen in the summer? What is the one thing
a lot needs to happen in the summer. It's a very big summer for United. Not all of it can be done in one summer. It's going to take a few transfer windows to sort out this mess, really. It's going to be a mass exodus. We all know the names that are going out of the club and the names that are up for sale. We need to at least bring in maybe 5 or 6 minimum this summer, if we're being realistic. 5 or 6. I don't know how if United can pull 5 or 6 out of the hat, but I'm hopeful that they can bring in some decent players with the likes of that we're linked to. Jurien Timber from Ajax knows Ten Hag's system, knows how to play Ten Hag's ball basically, and come in and hopefully he can fit in. Very versatile, can play as centre back. He predominantly is a centre back. Can fill in at right back if we need that. He can play in midfield a little bit as well, and he's highly rated. A lot of people criticise that he's only 5'9", 5'10", so isn't the biggest defender. And people question, will it be too physical for him in the Premier League? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see if that deal happens. First of all, we've been linked with Frankie de Jong from Barcelona. We all know Barcelona's situation with debt and money and all of that, and they're trying to sell someone on. And Frankie de Jong has been the one that's sort of been pushed to the window, if you will. And United are sniffing around trying to sort something out for that. If that happens, sure, we'll see. And the other one that we're heavily linked to is Darwin Núñez, striker to come in to be a sort of understudy to. I wouldn't say no chance. A lot of it had. Okay, well that's fine. You could say no chance, but I've seen a lot of the links are Darwin Núñez to Man United out of everyone. David Ormstein, Fabrizio Romano, whoever you want, all the top journalists have been linking Man United and saying Man United are sort of the front runners or pole position. It doesn't mean that we'll get him by any means, because anything can happen in transfer window. But I feel like at the moment, if we're just looking at where the reports are, I think United are in the front driving seat at the moment for that deal. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but if we can get someone like Darwin Núñez in to be an understudy to Ronaldo, so not everything's just on Ronaldo, because there has been games where he hasn't been playing or he's been injured or something, or maybe even in the Europa League games. Give him a rest. Thursday nights he can have off. Someone like Núñez would fit in and hopefully give him a year to then build up when Ronaldo does depart. Then afterwards we can bring in another striker to sort that out, and then hopefully we can keep on ticking. But for that, we just need a big summer, really.
So the 3 names you've given me there, if I was to ask you, give me 3 names that you want, basically, that you would love to see United sign, would these be the names, or do you have different 3 names for that?
I would like to see those names, but other people that I would like, another name that I would like to see is someone like Christopher Nkunku from RB Leipzig. He's been linked to both United and Chelsea for about 60 million euros, 32 goals, 20-something assists, 51 goal contributions. He's absolutely electric this season. Very versatile, can play across anywhere in the front three. Can play as a 10 if you want him to as well. Someone like Christopher Nkunku would be a very ideal person to bring in, and I think he could work. But I don't see Leipzig selling this summer, and if they do, I don't know if he'll come to United. I think he'll go elsewhere. Fullbacks, I can't give you names off the top of my head, but I definitely feel like we need a new right back. Maybe a new left back. Tellez ain't really cutting it. Luke Shaw. We'll have to see if Ten Hag can get him back to the form he was producing during the Euros and before that. But if you ask me for a different name, Nkunku is the one I'd go for.
Okay, well, interesting ones there.
I've got a question.
Okay,
go on.
You said about Núñez. So why would a 22-year-old striker go from playing Champions League to play on a Thursday night?
Because, as you said, he's 22 years old. He's got a lot of football to play ahead of him. I feel like the prospect of playing in the Premier League is sort of, I wouldn't say it's bigger than playing in Champions League, because, not everyone can win the Champions League, but there's a lot of football ahead of you. You will play Champions League football down the line, but for Núñez, he wouldn't be a number one, and I think the step up from playing at Benfica in the Portuguese league to playing in England for one of the biggest clubs in the world is two different levels, and I think he does need that adjustment period as well. I think I can't speak personally for him, but I would just say I'd assume he'd be aware of that sort of thing, and from some of the reports I've seen, he'd be willing to, and he'd find the prospect of playing in the Premier League bigger than playing in Champions League at the moment.
I could see him more at someone like Liverpool, if I'm honest.
I've seen the links to Liverpool, and it might happen. You never know, but
because
transfer
him and his
window,
agent in the past have come out and said that he wants Champions League football.
Yeah, and everyone wants. Here's the thing. No, I know, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. Everyone says they want Champions League football, this, that. But at the end of the day, do you want to be in the Champions League making up numbers, or do you want to be in the Champions League and actually win it? And sometimes you got to take up that sort of stance. I'm not going to say United are going to win the Champions League. They're not even in the Champions League. But I feel like playing in the Premier League is a pull in itself, really, as well.
Abdi, I've got a question for you. Sorry, Hubert.
That's right.
You say about defenders being 5'9", right? Short. How do you explain a League Two defender who's 5'6", and is now gone from Leicester in 2015 to Chelsea?
Who's that?
In N'Golo Kante. He's 5'6".
Kante.
Yeah.
No.
How do you explain that? I don't think
I'm not saying. No. I'm not the one who's. I'm not criticizing his height. No. I'm not the one who's criticizing his height. I've seen people saying he might be too short, and if he can cope with physicality. From the small bits I've seen of him, I feel like he can cope very well with that. And I feel like the way Ten Hag plays, he would be playing higher up the pitch, so it wouldn't really be necessary for him to get that physical. And I feel like he would be able to cope. He's played in the Champions League.
I know he likes
some of the top. He's played against some of the top clubs as well. So
Mhm.
I think he's highly rated anyway. So I feel like he could cope. It's about, as you said, rightfully, what's in your feet.
Well,
I've quickly as well, just because you triggered something in my head as well. N'Golo Kante. I've seen N'Golo Kante linked with Man United, which is a funny thing as well. I was like,
there's no way he's leaving Chelsea. He's
I honestly don't know. No, he's too short.
You've been linked with about
honestly
60 people.
No, we have, but I feel like this report came from basically Chelsea's top reporter, sort of thing. Tuchel doesn't really want to sell him because he sees him as his sort of Mbappe, his game changer, or something like that. But
just because he is.
He is.
I absolutely hate Chelsea, but he's a brilliant little player.
He is.
As long as he gets his fitness in check.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think that will happen. I've just seen the reports. I've just seen the reports from that. But if in a hypothetical world, if United did sign N'Golo Kante somehow, I don't know why, but somehow, that'd be just a giant slap in the face to Paul Pogba, because the season that he's leaving, you'd find someone who's basically perfect, perfect partner for him, if that was to happen.
George, what are you going to say?
George, what?
Oh, yeah, so the thing I was going to say about Kante, Hubert, as well, you've got to think the amount of games he's played in the last 18 months. And not just the games, the pressure he's had. Like, if it weren't for Kante, you weren't winning your Champions League, mate, or stuff like that. So, and with the injuries that I think this summer he'll rest up a bit, and I think you'll see Kante back at his best. And
Let's hope
it's
so.
a bit of pill for me to swallow with Kante, because it's not you guys who he should have been playing for. It's us, because we was meant to buy him, but one of our old managers decided, no, we'll go for Granit Xhaka instead.
Oh,
I feel the same way about the Eduardo Camavinga situation. We were linked with him heavily last season, and look, people said he wasn't good enough. Apparently, that worked out. Eduardo Camavinga.
The one that's got to Madrid,
Madrid Champions League winner.
Yeah, well, let's be honest. He
Yeah,
played the right
it happens. It happens.
Don't say nothing by
thing is,
Chelsea
Arsenal
winning Champions Leagues.
Well, you can say the same thing about Dani Ceballos. He's won it twice now. Twice. Dani Ceballos.
Second time? I thought it was first
twice.
time. Fair enough.
I'm mind blown. I can't get my head around it.
We'll definitely mention Arsenal quite a bit later. We'll get on to George's and Notty's thoughts on the team.
We'll talk about it in our review, but yeah. That 90th minute on through on goal. Yeah. Anyway,
money, idiot.
Yeah. Right, so we move on now. Luke, what are your thoughts on United's season as a whole?
Sorry, I couldn't mute my. I was trying to unmute myself. I wouldn't do it. Fucking hell, where do I start?
From the beginning.
Yeah.
Right, we've got 10 hours.
Going into this season, I was a bit optimistic about sealing top four again. But as games went on, odd results, Solskjaer started falling to shit, basically.
The wheel.
Yeah, Ollie, the wheel can fucking stay behind at the wheel.
It's better than Ralph at the wheel.
I was going to say, is there much of a difference?
They got a matching bus.
I just think it's mad that Michael Carrick's been your best manager this season.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He got like 3 draws. It was undefeated.
2 wins and a draw.
I don't know. We just started falling further and further off the cliff. As Abdi said, come November, December, after the Atletico game, that's when it really started going completely down. He always got too many players in the squad who just don't care. Like, we're having fights in the blooming training ground now. It's getting that bad because they just don't want to play under the Ralph Rangnick.
Now.
Nah, just don't see.
It's like Arsenal was like that. Towards just after Wenger went, they was all fighting with each other.
Yeah,
that's when you know you've got problems.
If you don't want to be in the club, then I don't care how good you are. Then go, get out of here. We want players that want to play for the team, play for the shirt, and are hungry to win things, and get on with it. Look, we had too many commercial signings that we've thrown hundreds of £1 million at, like bloody Maguire, he's worth
Still with
about 80
United,
Freddo
isn't
bars, not 80 million
No, I
pounds.
won't go that far, mate. I like
Well,
Fred
not even
Buzz.
Out of date ones. Put him back in the Curry's clearance sale.
Maybe.
These new players that are young, hungry. Like Abdi mentioned, a very good one in Kunku. I do highly rate him. I've watched him closely for Leipzig, and he's got impressive stats. Can he cope with the physicality of the Premier League? Well, that's remains to be seen. Because
Scored a hat trick against City.
yeah, against City, which was always beautiful to see someone do that.
It was 6-3, but yeah, we don't talk about
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
does
still
it?
6-3. No, it don't matter. But if he can, we just need players that can do, basically do that, then it'd be much better to do. Timber, he'd be a good signing. Hopefully, it's no pun intended there.
Well.
Hope it's no pun intended.
Timber.
The defence don't actually timber.
Oh.
They're going down.
So
No,
let's get this then. 3 names you'd like United to sign this summer.
Timber, yeah, one of them. I'm gonna throw it out there, but I don't think he will come to us. I'd
You're
love
not
to sign
signing
Ruben.
Lewandowski.
Mbappe.
No, Ruben Neves.
I think you'll get him.
I love Ruben Neves in the Man United squad. It's holding midfielder. Ruben Neves. Yeah, I think his time at Wolves. I think he needs to move on from
You'd
Wolves.
be very happy if you sign him. You'll be celebrating as if you won the league.
Yeah, he'll over celebrate it. Get the fireworks.
Yeah, he probably would. But it'd been. I'd definitely have him. So Timber, Neves. Can't remember the third name.
Messi.
Well, no, not Messi. Yes,
You said Nkunku earlier, but
yeah.
Are you? Yeah.
I'd say a full back as well. We do need a right back, but there's no one.
Aaron's.
Max Aaron's, yeah. Max Aaron's, I wouldn't mind him.
Get him for a back.
But then again, he's around the same age as Delo, so
Yeah.
would he really be an understudy Delo? We need someone that's
No, he'll be
top quality. There's not very many names that are shouting out of me for fullbacks, but yeah, I say fullback, Neves, and Kunku. That'd be my 3.
Interesting. Well, before we move on to Arsenal, I will.
Can I say something about Man United?
Oh, go on.
Oh, quick, get your popcorn out.
Here we go.
So, popcorn time.
Obviously,
drum roll.
I've heard what Abdi and Luke got to say. Something I had to pick up what Luke said. At the start of the season, he was hoping they would secure top 4. How the mighty have fallen. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Man United fans, and it ain't a dig because you could say the same thing about Arsenal. To be fair, but how the mighty have fallen. Say, we're hoping we'd secure top 4. Like
it's realistic.
Before they were title challengers. Yeah. And I put a video in the group earlier. And I don't normally agree with Jamie O clickbait and people on TalkSport, but people like Dean Saunders, Adam Cook, they were absolute bang on. Like O'Hara was saying how bad Ranić is, and as everyone knows on here, I'm not two-faced. I thought it was a waste of time. Should have just kept Ollie for me. But Dean Saunders is right. They haven't won nothing since Mourinho was there, and that's still all those players are similar. There's not many apart from Fernandes, Varane, and a couple others. They're all the same sort of players. Like Mourinho said, the best thing he ever done in his managerial career was to get these players the second.
Yeah, it's true. It is.
That says a lot for me. And he was right. Can you name a group of players that have done really, really well consistently for Man United in the last 9 since Fergie's gone? I can't. Bruno had one good season. That's it. He's probably the closest.
About 2, but then yeah.
All right,
1.5.
It was this season. It was this season, mate.
Well, this season he's been.
This season been a bit.
I just think overall this season has just been shambolic from about October to now. It's just completely fallen apart. As for the Ranić stuff, yeah, it has been a waste of time because United didn't do anything to actually help Ranić in terms of the coaches he wanted weren't available to come and sort out. You had to get, what was it, 3rd or 4th choice someone in. Like everyone else, they couldn't come in because I think there was something to do with work permits, Brexit, and all that sort of stuff. And then afterwards, obviously, January, nothing. They didn't bring in any signings, even though he requested, "Could you bring someone in to just help push
But can you
stuff
blame
forwards?"
them?
I
They're not going to give money to someone who ain't staying.
I can understand that, but at the same time, he was staying on in terms of towards being a part of the club going forward. And
I actually think that's down to Ten Hag.
it would have been down Ten Hag, and maybe
I think that's why
you
he's
can look
gone.
at it.
I don't think it's because of the club. I think
I
Ten Hag.
don't think it's because of Ten Hag. Because
I
if
think
it was,
Ten Hag. Well, that's your opinion. I'm saying like mine. Like I
Go
think
on.
Ten Hag said that they've seen now the reaction that Ranić's got at that club, and it ain't great. It's like
it's
you're
not.
saying your Man United fans love him or whatever. Like, I don't know how one Man United fan can love him. He's only been there a few months, and
I don't know, I'd say we liked him. But
well, that's
yeah.
what you said. You said that's Man United fans love him because he's honest. Like,
Yeah.
but how can you? He's been your worst ever manager in the Premier League. You finished in your worst.
I think no, I know what you're saying, but at the same time, I feel like because we've been exposed to seeing what those players are like, when you see people for who they are and what they can be in terms of the shit that has been this season, you sort of look at them and you're like, I'm not gonna keep blaming the manager. How many times can you throw a manager under the bus before you start looking at the players? And that's
it's
why
fickle, mate. Like football's fickle because if this
it is.
season, if you bring 3 or 4 people in, and then you go and get top 4, because I don't think you'll get top 4. And just me being honest, but you never know.
That's you.
But
that
you
is you.
never know. Like football is strange like that. I didn't think Arsenal would be battling for top 4. So, but and then football's that fickle. There'll be fans who'll be like, "Oh yeah, so look, Ten Hag's done it," and then in about 8 months' time, the same thing will happen again. Like, there's no
and that's the cycle that we have to break.
Yeah, and it's them players. Like those players are to blame. For me,
a lot of them are going. Though. So
well, mate,
the squad is going to be fit. So we'll see.
I told you, 15 of them for me need to go. But
you can't do everything. As I said, you can't do everything in one summer. So we have to be a bit more patient with it.
The mentality has to change around the club, like similar to us.
A lot does have to change, and we're very much aware of that.
Yeah, and that is my thing. Like with at Man United, like people take the piss out of the Arsenal and Arteta trust the process thing. But for me, Man United's process has been going on since Fergie left, and they've got to do from your point of view, not mine. They've got to do something more than just get rid of or to have a great manager in charge, because whatever way you look at it, Ten Hag is a great manager. I'm not discounting that. If I had to name 3 players that you'd probably need,
go on. Yeah.
I'd probably say Neves. These are like realistic ones. Neves, Timber. Just so you can, just because Kesha's a Man United fan, so that's probably why that'll happen. And I'm struggling to think of a third one. I think say his name right. Nkunku, if Chelsea are sniffing, like you've got the Tuchel link there. He was playing under Tuchel at PSG.
Yeah.
So
we don't have that Leipzig connection anymore. We lost it yesterday. We would have had it with Ranić, but I feel like now that Ranić's gone, I think we're going to probably move away from Nkunku, because Ranić was the one who's pushing for us to try and bring in someone like an Nkunku.
I wouldn't be surprised if you went for another. I wouldn't be surprised if you got Pau Torres.
Yeah, we've been linked with him strongly as well.
You said Tony Kroos, the amount of times you've been linked with him.
Where's Draxler? He ain't anywhere, is he?
I hope Wesley Sneijder was still linked.
Yeah, he's waiting over his medical. But I'd be kind of surprised as a neutral fan if Man United went for attacking players first, because I think most of their work needs to be done defensively and in that midfield. Because I think if you go on paper,
need us in the spine of that team.
But on paper, you've got. At the moment, I'm saying you've got Ronaldo, who is just Ronaldo. You've got Sancho. You've got Martial. That's right, saying he might leave, but he's still there at the moment.
He is.
You've
Kind
got
I think he'll play.
Alanga, who's a lot of people have had a go at him. Neutral fan, I have thought he's been one of your better players in the last season.
Walanga.
Yeah.
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 Had a few good highlights, to be fair.
I'm trying to think who else you got. I was going to say Greenwood, but he's playing with Adam Johnson at the minute.
No, they're in two different cells. But
But like, I just think it's going to be more, like you say, like the players who are going. You've got Lingard, Pogba, all them lot going. So these players have to be replaced. Unless you're going to go with the under 23s. Like I was seeing Ghana was being linked to potentially go somewhere
Southampton or Leicester.
like you ain't got many options in that plate, and you're talking about getting rid. Like, so I don't know.
Apparently, not Rang yet. Ten Hag want to see him play Vision before deciding.
I think he
Has
will
he
go
not
in
been watching him all
pre-season.
season? One thing I will say quickly, it's a
Go
bit
on.
of an odd thing, but then we'll move on. What I find really funny is Nottingham Forest is two of their better players are technically not even their players, and they've been promoted.
Yeah. The thing is, with Nottingham Forest, they have a few people who are on loan as well on that team.
Yeah.
So, but just wrapping up on what you're saying, we are in a mess in terms of. But I think it's just been one of those seasons where it's just been a really bad season. Everything that could have gone wrong did go wrong, essentially. I think, as I've said it before as well, I think it's easy for everyone to just say they're shit, that's shit, they're shit, and they'll never be good again or something. But I feel like if you need someone fresh talking to people to try and get their head right. I don't know if they will change. I feel like Rashford will probably get the season to sort himself out. If he can't sort himself out, then he'll have to go. I know a lot of people have already sort of cut Rashford off and said he needs to go now, get rid and all that stuff. I still think even though when he was injured, he was still producing loads of numbers and still playing through it with an injured back and all that. I think United sort of ran him into the ground at that point. He needed someone to step in and just say, go take a break, get yourself recovered. And this season's just been an awful one for him and one to forget and to move on. Well, I wouldn't say one to forget. I'd say one to learn from and try and move forward from. But
I do get that. Like, I'm not one of these people who say like, oh, so like Fernandes for me had a very good start, and then I think kind of tailed off, and then like this season he's just been absolutely atrocious. I don't know if it's the Ronaldo effect. I don't know. The only people that know that.
I just think he needs someone to sit him down, talk to him, and put him in a structure. I think Ten Hag will talk to a lot of people, sort them out, hopefully figure things out and ways to work with these players.
But it's just like when you hear like, because Luke's opinion ain't just a Luke opinion. I've heard a lot of United fans.
Yeah, I know.
I've seen how much the ambition at the club from the top to the bottom has dropped. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like when I was growing up, Man United I fucking hated them because they was always up there. And it was either Arsenal, Man United, and then it was Chelsea. Like for Man United not to win a trophy, and it isn't a dig before people.
No, I know.
It's not a dig, but you've been in.
I know.
Shitloads of semi-finals in that time, and
bottled it. Yes, we have bottled them
and bottled them. That's not Man United, because
no, it's not.
And it is a point what they're all saying. Like, are these players that are playing now as good as people? Like Dean Saunders said it, and I'm not. He is what he is, but you got people like David De Gea playing like he's your best player. He saved you sometimes, but is he really? Is he that good? Because I don't even think he would get near a Man United team that was winning stuff all those years ago.
I think he'd be.
He won't be first
top three. No, he's not. No, because you have either Peter Schmeichel or Edwin van Sar, one of them two. Like you can't really compare. Like, but David De Gea would be probably third out of.
But that's what I mean. You think
else,
all these players have not won you nothing in them years.
This is the thing as well. You got to be sort of at the same time. I get what you're saying. United need to be top, fighting for this and that. But at the same time, you got to be realistic at where you are. You can't just be like, if I came here and I just said United are going to win the league next season, I'd be literally laughed at for saying United are going to win the league. If I said United get top 4, I'd probably still be laughed at. But I'd still think it's more realistic than saying United are going to win the league and all that, because you got to think, put your expectations. I know, but you got to put your expectations at like where you think you are at that time as well. So probably a lot of people at the start of last season would have said Man United probably challenging, not winning, but challenging for the league title at least this season. Completely different season. It turns around.
So a question before this season, and this final question. So, did you honestly have full belief that you could win a trophy before this season?
Win a trophy? Yeah, I thought we could have potentially gone FA Cup run or something.
Luke?
Yeah, I expected maybe a Carabao Cup or an FA Cup. Nothing major.
There's the proof for me. Like in one season, it's gone.
But that's the thing. Football's a funny thing. Anything can happen. Literally, Ten Hag could literally hit the ground running and just be like, "Yeah, blitz everything." But that's not going to happen, because realism and actually thinking logically about stuff. Who knows? United could go on a cup run, win a Carabao Cup, win an FA Cup. But it's just where we are at the moment, unfortunately. We don't like being here, We don't like being here, but we realise it's going to take time to get back to where we want to be.
What do you think about United, Hubert?
It's going to take a season of Ten Hag's contract to see what kind of his version of his team, how we want to play. He wants us to play. It's just not going to happen overnight. This season might be better than next season. Next season might be better than this season, slightly. But there's not going to be any drastic changes.
Right. Okay. Yes. Right. What I think on United is pretty simple. You hit the nail on the head when you said how the times have changed. You had the great United that was, hoping to win titles, Champions League, and all sorts. Now United are happy if they could win the Carabao Cup and possibly secure top 4.
Especially when we were told, Hubert, or we've seen, when they bought Ronaldo and Varane, that puts them in the title race. That's what I mean.
We've had people saying Man United will win the Champions League this season.
Yeah, and that's, for me, that's...
You never know.
What I mean.
And football's a funny thing.
Well, we do this season because you went
out.
The one just gone he missed. But, that's what I mean with drastically how things have changed.
Yeah, and things could change again drastically next season.
It's really funny.
Literally, a year later, we can have a different discussion.
I just got a fuck mob come through and it said review Man United season. Just doing that.
Oh, definitely done that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've beaten United to death now. So let's close the book on that one.
Abdi, you're not getting away that quickly. There's questions in the chat for you.
Oh, wow. Okay, go on.
So the fact that you've got the same aspirations as Arsenal at the minute is just hilarious. That's all I've got to say on the subject.
Yeah, probably.
I'm assuming this is Austin, Arsenal FC Unlimited. Let's go. Watching from my bed. Shame I couldn't come on tonight. Feel very ill. Get well soon, Austin.
Get well soon, my friend. Get well soon,
man.
Arsenal what?
Arsenal FC Unlimited, something like that.
Yeah.
When did he become like a company?
Matt Roberts, hello all.
Hello, Matthew.
Austin again, Sportsmania, the real winners. Let's go. There's a Facebook user in the house. No name, I'm afraid. Can we include the championship as well?
We did. We said about Nottingham Forest.
Austin's now changed his name on the thing before you said that. George Abdi, where do you think it went wrong for Man United throughout the season?
When they sacked Solskjaer?
No, because it was going wrong before then anyway. I honestly don't know. It literally everything just fell apart.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we've got a Facebook user again. How do you think Forest will do next season, guys?
I'm hoping they'll stay up.
Yeah, we all know what's going to happen.
I'm hoping they will too.
16.
Arsenal
16.
Just to clarify.
Arsenal are shaking.
That Facebook user is Dave Harley.
Oh, Dave Harley. Thanks, Luke. Yeah, I hope they get relegated.
Yeah, Dave.
Really?
Yes, I do.
Is it?
No. Don't get me wrong. Forest away is a good day out, but nah.
Yeah, it's
a
not
good
been
day
fun,
out, just
has
not
it?
for Arsenal.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
Exactly,
see,
Hubert.
see,
Then
I
again,
just want to.
here's a stat for you boys.
Go on.
No Premier League team has won at Forest's home ground since Arsene Wenger.
Can I just correct something here with
One
this
level.
Arsenal Forest conspiracy theory?
There's no conspiracy theory.
There is, because
There isn't.
everyone's like,
The
Arsenal
thing
will
is,
be shaking.
Arsenal were the last Premier League team to
Arsenal
win
will
there
be
as well.
shaking in their boots. Well, we just don't turn up against Forest at Forest, because the last time Forest played at the Emirates, we absolutely smashed them because it was
Yeah,
Kieran
yeah, we
Tierney's debut.
I
So
remember that. Was it 4-1 or 5-1 or
I
whatever it
think
was?
so. I took Shakir and he dropped
Yeah.
his phone just behind the Ashburton Army when I first met him. So he was trying to find that, and then it was all going wrong. And then he was asking me loads of bloody questions why they have a drum. I went, oh, just ask him yourself. Like, and then Tierney scored on his debut, so that's how long ago it was. But do I want Forest to get relegated? There's worse teams than them in the league at the minute.
Yeah.
More northern teams that need to go for me first.
Oh, at least there's no Burnley, George.
Yeah, it makes my fucking day. That
Sad times.
I am not going to
times.
miss Turf more.
We all miss Burnley.
But
No.
I've got a funny
I
feeling.
think we know which one's going to go down at the three promoted teams.
Arsenal, Forest. I think it'll
Fulham!
be Forest away at Arsenal. Arsenal
Yeah.
away at Forest. First game of the season. Yeah,
On a Friday night,
yeah.
2-0 victory for Forest.
I love that.
Book it. Put the bets
Well,
down.
And then
let's.
Man
is there any
United
more in
lose
the
5-0
chat?
at Liverpool again.
Yeah. Austin
Nah, I don't
again.
think that'll
Abdi,
happen
who do
again.
you think would be your ideal transfer for the summer? You've already answered that.
I've
Hubert
answered that,
beat you
yeah.
to it, Austin. Matt, on paper, United team should be good enough for top 4 from Matt.
Should
It
be.
should be title
Should be,
challenging.
but
I mean, on paper, we should have won we could have won the league, but you know.
No, but it should be title challenging. Top 4 is rubbish for me. That's minimum for that Man United team on paper.
no, let's be realistic,
Oh,
George.
no, what?
This Man
Varane?
United team will not challenge for
Ronaldo.
titles.
It just didn't listen, it didn't click, okay? It didn't happen.
No, but on paper, I'm
we
not
probably
talking about
should have. No,
physically.
at start of the
Wait,
season, we
I'm
probably
going to
should
go
have
get my
been. But
popcorn out.
No.
But on paper, that is the most ridiculous statement. It didn't click. But on paper, you've got De
it
Gea,
didn't click.
you've got
Didn't work out.
Varane, you've got Ronaldo, you've got,
Yep.
at the time, you had Greenwood.
George,
But we don't have them.
George,
Go
Varane don't count. He's nothing without Ramos. Can we just make that clear?
No, but he's
Fact.
still there, isn't
I
he?
think
Yeah,
the
don't
injury. He was very injury prone this
I was
season.
going to say
It was
injuries
really
did not
hard.
help Varane.
This really
Yeah, it
gets to
didn't.
me because like
No,
people
it's
say,
nothing about Ramos.
it's excuses after. It's like listening to the Arsenal ball talking.
I'm not making any
Like,
excuses up.
No,
I'm just
Bruno
saying
Fernandes
facts.
was a player of the season before.
He was.
So on paper, top 4 should have been minimum. Sorry, but
Should
they
have been. It should have been. It should
That's
have
what I'm
been.
saying.
Yeah.
That was my point.
Last season, yes. This season, going into next season,
But we're not
top
talking
4
about
should
this.
be
We're
the
not talking
aim.
about that one. We're talking
Well,
about
okay.
last season.
Last season. No. Yeah, last season. As I said, last season, the expectation was probably to be in the title race. Yeah, that was the expectation. Yeah, we did fail. We did fail.
Yes,
Of
Lottie.
course, we failed. We
Yeah, but
already
you're
said
gonna
we
have to-
failed.
Abdi, shush for a minute.
We're not
Okay,
talking
I'll show.
about.
Yeah.
George, hang on.
Abdi and George, can you
hang
hold
on.
on a second?
Boys,
When
Hubert,
my
you're
hand
gonna have
goes
to
up,
do
your
your
mouth goes
best.
shut.
Yeah, you can
Jesus
go after Luke.
Christ.
And this is why I'm on screen, because I keep these boys at bay. I'm only kidding, guys. Hubert, you need to buy a bell for when these two go at it. Ding ding.
I need a sound
Austin
effect.
has
Yeah.
sound
I need
effects.
Well,
Yeah.
I need to check
Yeah.
Austin's soundboard if he's got boxing sound effects. Right. I think we've beaten
His
Man
Denver's
United to
theme song,
death
too.
after they've beaten themselves.
Thank
to
you.
death
Let's
the whole
move
season.
on.
I'm going
We
to
will
quickly
finally-
whiz through these last comments before we move
Go on.
on. We got Tom in the chat. Oi, oi. Tom,
Tommy
evening,
boy.
Hubert.
Leave
Lottie
it,
with
Tom,
smiley
man.
faces. A thumbs up for Luke.
Oh, finally, I got
Um,
acknowledged.
Who's that?
By Tom. By Tom.
Did you say anything
Tom-
about me?
No, he didn't, I'm afraid. Tom,
Bastard.
we
I
got...
remember that.
He mentions you every week.
Yeah,
He does.
apart
George,
from
I
now.
ain't finished yet. I ain't there yet. Tom, we got Eddie. How seasons can change. JT,
Exactly.
give us a wave from Tom
He's
again.
not. He's not
He's
here.
not
not
here.
here. You might have noticed.
Tom, 4-0 wasn't it, George? I was there.
No, I
Matt,
can't remember.
Matt, what
If
have
I
I
started.
started? Face palm. And that's everything.
Good.
Right. Well, after the 45 minutes we done on United, time for another 45
Then you
minutes.
said half an hour, we'd have it done.
Yeah, time for another 45
It would have been
minutes.
done, but you stretched it out more. You kept
Yeah,
going.
because George basically does the audio version of kind of nudging, going, "Go on, go on, go on."
Her
Yeah,
face
yeah.
was poking.
I say more stir the
Just keeps
pot.
poking.
Yeah, George kind of was just.
He
winding you up.
loves it. He loves
Yeah,
it.
I just
he-
sat
Don't
there
worry, I'll
waiting.
start.
it's,
No,
George,
it's fine.
It's George through and through. Then right, well, time for another 45 minutes on Arsenal.
Now double it, 90 minutes on Arsenal because it's
Probably,
Arsenal.
mate. I'm glad we don't have the next show until Wednesday. We might finish by then. George,
Probably.
They've got Chelsea
dare
though
I
as well.
ask for your thoughts on the Arsenal season, shall we?
What, from the beginning?
Yeah.
Well,
No,
preferably
yeah.
that's how Abdi did it. So you know,
I
watch,
didn't
he's probably going to
expect.
give us 5 minutes now. And
I didn't expect Arsenal to be battling for top four. I'm not going to be two-faced about that. I thought we'd probably be like battling to try and break into maybe Europa League, because I thought the teams that were above us were a lot stronger than us. But like we say, we don't judge teams on paper, do we, Abdi?
Anything can happen in the season, my friend.
I mean, we're
That's
at
going to be your
Arsenal now.
catchphrase.
We're at Arsenal now.
Literally, anything can happen in the season.
Let's stick to the
It
Arsenal.
proves everything. Go
Shall
on.
we?
So,
Yeah.
we challenging for top four. I don't think we were good enough for top four. Like, I don't think our squad was good enough for top four. I would have took. You would take Champions League because, like we say, everyone would.
Who wouldn't?
But with down to injury, it's not an excuse. But because of what we did in January, and then we got a couple of injuries, Arteta and the board just they run the gauntlet a bit. They thought they would get away with it. I do honestly think if Partey and Tierney stayed fit, though, I do think we would have got it. It's just like it's a similar thing to the United thing. Like Abdi was saying, like you ain't gonna get all your transfers and everything done in one or two summers. And with Arsenal, like we got quite a bit of it done last summer with Ramsdale, Tomiyasu, Ødegaard, and Ben White and the other couple, but we need strikers. I know people say, but City won the league without striker, but that's Man City. It's not Arsenal, is it?
But City won the league without a striker. Now go on.
Yeah, but
Go on, go on.
I'm sorry, I forgot you still support City.
I don't. But, yeah.
So
He did a few weeks ago.
No.
when you've got no disrespect, when you had the troublemaker like Aubameyang at the club, so Arteta had to put his foot down and get rid. You can't have people like that. If any of us, when we work, like the ones who work, like Lottie and Luke, if they turn up at work whenever they wanted to, or turn up late, they wouldn't be in a job. So there's no difference. Then we had such a potent attack with Alex Lacazette and at the time Eddie and Nketiah.
Scored against Wolves.
He didn't score against Wolves, so that's the thing.
Usually
So
does.
it didn't get given to him; it was given as an own goal. So that's how potent
Lesson.
our male fake number 9 is. But I ain't got to watch him next season because he's leaving, so I'm happy.
Until he signs a 2-year contract extension.
Shut up! I've already had this conversation. If that
Has
happens,
to be confirmed that he's leaving.
Hasn't been
Well,
officially
near
confirmed
enough.
that I've seen.
near enough. So I don't know. We've got a young squad. I don't like keep saying that all the time, but I think this summer for Arsenal is massive. Like, there's no more. You can't really say any more excuses after going into next season. If we don't go out and buy the players that we need to buy, that we all know that we need, but the buck it still goes back to the Cronkies for me. Like, even though they spent the money last summer, so what? They've been at that club since 2013 and done absolute fuck all. Apart from up season ticket prices and just basically mug all the fans off. And like we were told when we moved to the Emirates in 2006 that we were going to compete with Bayern Munich. Yeah, I can really see that.
Well, you did kind of compete with them. By that, I mean
For
you
a
played
couple of
against
years.
them.
I wouldn't say we competed because we got
We
battered
played
by
against
them.
them. That's more.
Yeah.
They probably meant by competing, but more on this season.
No,
I
listen
think.
to you just because your club's been bought out today. Bloody hell. You're in it today, aren't you? So, I don't know. I don't trust the Cronkies this summer. to be honest, I think they've given Ketia a new deal to probably save them some pounds. Like, so they haven't got to go out and buy the 2 strikers. Personally, I still think we need 2 strikers because we didn't have European football last season, and there's a lot more, as we all know, there's a lot more games. But I'm not one of these fans that the world's going to end because we didn't get top 4. Like, or I'm going to abuse someone who thinks we shouldn't be, that they're okay with Europa League. But as people know, I was called an Arteta sexual, but I'll blame that manager if for me, we have to be in the top 4 next season, or so that's for me. That would be a successful season next. But they've got to do a lot to compete. Like we all know, everyone else is going to. 3 players that I would want realistically. Yuri Tillemans, I think he'll be amazing next to Partey, and he'll allow Erdegaard to do his magic. So it's hard because realistically, because the person I want, I don't think it's realistic.
Who's that?
Martinez. I think he would just solve all our problems up front, but I just don't think that's realistic. Maybe Gabriel Jesus and then my boy Serge, bring him home. Just bring Gnabry back. I think. Give him the number 14, and then everything will be all right, won't it? And then Tom cannot have a heart attack because when Nketiah gets number 14.
Imagine.
I don't. This numbers thing, I'm not so het up on it, and people might think, "Oh, what are you on about?" Like, I don't remember people getting that too upset when William Gallas was the number 10. So, like for me, if Edin Nketiah is number 58 and scores 15 goals in the league, I don't really care. Or if Martinelli, when he was at was he 35?
Yeah, around there.
So I get the history behind the number 14. I'm not stupid with that sort of thing, but let's just wait and see. I don't know, but I'm not that negative as a thing. It was bad the way it ended, but maybe I don't even think we bottled it. I just think we'd run out of steam and we just didn't have enough. Because if you're saying bottling in it, then we've bottled it across the whole season because those defeats, Tottenham, Newcastle, yeah, they were detrimental, but so was the defeats to Everton away when we were winning and should have won. That was the first win they had in God knows how long. And then the defeats, what me and Lottie saw was Southampton away, Brighton at home, Palace away. So for that, I think you shouldn't be really finishing Champions League spot if you're losing 13 odd games, should you really?
Do you think though that losing Partey and Tierney honestly cost you top 4? Because you're doing well in terms of, I wouldn't say that well, but you're doing okay without them in terms of Elneny came in, he done fine, and people were sort of raving about him, saying that you should keep him on and do what he's doing. Cedric was doing his thing, and it was sort of ticking along when you were beating Chelsea and us, and But go on.
My thing with Tierney is the Tavares issue.
Okay.
I think Tavares has really, really struggled, and he reminds me of, not obviously at the same level, nowhere near it, but do you remember when Bale was at Southampton?
Yeah.
When he played as a left back, yeah.
Then he was playing as a left back, and then he even played for Tottenham at a left back, didn't he? Like he had like 30 odd games where they didn't win a game or something. Tavares reminds me of that. Going forward, he's all right. He can't shoot, but
he shot fine against us.
Yeah, he was about a yard out, mate. Stevie Wonder could have scored that. Even Austin in his bed, bit throwing up everywhere, probably could have scored that.
Oh.
Lovely image there. If
would
you're
have been
having your
a kick goal,
dinner,
wouldn't it?
enjoy.
Cedric, a lot of you tell you I'm not the biggest fan of Cedric.
Sea Dog, come on, he's the Sea Dog.
Nope. He can't stand him.
Like,
He's the Sea Dog though. Come on.
yeah, he might be the Sea Dog, but maybe that dog needs to go to a retirement home. That's what I'm saying.
Shame.
Like, well, you can have him if you want.
No. You can
No,
have
they're
him.
going
He's
for
your
not-
friend.
So he's not that great then, is he, Abdi?
No, he's great for you guys. He does what he needs to be doing, but Yeah.
No, he's
Oh,
good
you wouldn't
as
have
a
Man
third-
United.
He's good.
Yeah,
As
like
a
we
third
already
choice
have Phil Jones. It's fine. We've got our
You
own
can have
pets.
him. Have another
Philip.
have a crappy
Sir Philip.
defender to your collection.
He's
I mean, you
That's
still
fine.
put up with Maguire.
Yeah,
good enough as a third choice right back for me. But Partey, if Partey was fit, Mikel Arteta wouldn't have had a pep to the head, would he? And then played Xhaka at left back against Brighton. So I don't know, Partey and Xhaka, when they were playing together, it seemed to be really. And don't get me wrong, Elmeni's done really, really well since he come in. And I was one of those people who said to give him a new deal because he's the sort of squad player you need. But I'd say more Tierney for me, because not everyone says about how Tierney plays. It's not what he does on the pitch, off the pitch as well. He's one of the only leaders that we actually have. And it's a shame because if he stayed fit, I'd say he's proper captain material. But he just gets injured too much. Oh, tight fires before you say it. Have to.
beat me to it.
So in that sense, to answer your question, do I think they? I don't think it cost us top 4, but I don't think it helped. I'm being diplomatic.
Another question. I want to pull you up on
What's this
something.
question time?
Yeah, it is because you pulled me
Must
up on
be.
a few stuff. I'm just asking you a couple questions, then we'll pass it on to Lottie to say her bit on
Hit
stuff.
me.
But
Not literally.
I can if you want me to, but
I don't want to
to
embarrass
each
you.
their own. To each their own. But no, you said that you guys need to get top 4 next season for Mikel Arteta to stay. Do you think you can with the way sort of things will? No one can say for certain what's going to happen over summer and what's going to happen next season. But with Tottenham looking to strengthen and trying to cement themselves in the top 4, with Man United trying to recruit and with a new manager in and hopefully doing better, do you think that Arsenal can finish above those two again? Or, well, again, back above United, but Spurs.
With the Arteta thing first, I don't think it will affect it might do, you never know with football, affect his job as much, but I think he'll be under a hell of a lot of pressure, and the Arteta out keyboard warriors will be out in full force.
Doesn't take much for them to come out though.
Oh yeah, exactly. I don't see or hear them when we're beating Chelsea and Man United and all that stuff. But
I think what you got to remember with the Arteta ins and outs, the outers are the fans that aren't going to the games. There's very few I know that go to every single game that are Arteta out.
Yeah, exactly. And don't get me wrong, I've said this on other channels. If you're Arteta out from the start and you've never backed him, fair enough. Respect you for your opinion, but don't come at me and abuse me when we lose a couple of games, and then you're like, "Oh, Arteta's got to go. He's a Spanish fraud." Like, when you're the same people that drove the best manager we ever had out of the club in Wenger Emery. Don't come at me like that. Like I said, we all have the same love. Like, every footballer has the same love. They're going to have different opinions. For example, Man United might think at the time, Solskjaer was good. Some people might think, oh no, he's not. But
there was a big split about that.
Arsenal,
there was some stupid people in the fan base, and you guys have it as well because I've seen it, that wanted United. They were actively wanting United to lose so Solskjaer could get sacked, and there's people out there who actively want Arsenal to lose to see Arteta go.
Yeah, no, I don't get that.
I don't either. Towards the
fan, if you do.
Yeah. Towards the end of Solskjaer's reign, I was saying it's time for him to go now, but I always wanted United to win.
Never
it hurt me.
To lose.
No, you don't.
No.
And it did hurt me the way we were losing then as well. So it was like, why would I want to see my team
Like
lose?
you got
I always want to see them
you
win.
got people that just go out there to chat shit. Like Piers Morgan's one of the worst. Like he ain't obviously ain't watching this, but
He's
I hope
one
he
of a
is,
kind.
'cause I think he's a proper.
Piers,
You know
it's
what?
fine. Don't worry. Don't listen to him. We'll have you on the show. It's fine.
Yeah, when Hell
I
Free's
mean,
over.
can you imagine? Can you imagine?
Like
Uncensored with Piers
you
Morgan.
think you can't get a word in with me? Imagine me against Piers.
Mm.
Yeah,
So,
I don't want to see that.
Be
Well, I
carnage.
won't. We'll have to
That'd be
see
the
it, so-
that'd be the real boxing match. This is
I
a
do as
boxing
long
match
as I don't have
into.
to manage you two on the show.
Yeah,
Oh,
be
don't worry. I'll step in.
unmanageable.
I'll sit there. I'll just watch.
Good luck with
I've got
that,
the
mate. I
popcorn.
can't- Do you think I hate Burnley and Stoke?
Hubert, I'll get
and
the
all these
popcorn out. We
other
can sit and watch.
Him,
Popcorn and the
that
beers.
Morgan is nearly. No, Arsenal. No,
Yeah,
I won't
but back to Arsenal. So
Um,
yeah.
So, but going back to like the people, they just watch it on streams and then they think, oh yeah, Arteta should go. But you need to look at what he's doing as a bigger picture. He might not be the man who wins us titles
Might
or
not be.
trophies.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
he's
he
the
won
one
the
who's-
FA Cup and Community Shield, so better than some
Yeah.
people.
Exactly. He's one more than Tottenham have. So, but they've got top four, so obviously they've got that trophy and they're made up. What is it? The most improbable comeback award, like given out at the supermarket award or something.
Hey, what?
So, but he's laying the foundations for me. I think we still need for us to be title challenging, like in that sort of position. I think we still need about 10 or 11 players.
Okay, but
he's got this
also I
near
did
enough.
say, I also did ask about the top four situation. for
Oh,
next
sorry.
year.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think we can finish above. Not just because you're on here. I do think if we buy the right people, I think we can finish above Man United
And Spurs.
and who's Spurs.
Spurs.
Oh,
Yeah.
right, yeah. That irrelevant thing. Yeah, why not?
Okay, I'm just
They've
saying
had-
because
What
you
about
haven't
Chelsea?
finished above them in a while, so that's
What about
what I was
Chelsea?
saying. You know, they're kind of in the way.
Depends what summer they have. It's hard because we don't know what summer these teams are going to have. Like
Exactly.
I know everyone's saying, "Oh, but Tottenham are going to spend 150 million." Well, they might lose players in the summer. We don't know who's going to go where. But you can never say no one's going to ever leave because you just don't know.
Here's the thing.
Different story,
We'll be
but end
back
of
in
August.
like we'll be back in like 3 months or 2 months with our Premier League predictions for the new season.
Yeah, and we could be having a
And-
complete different conversation.
Exactly, with the different business people have done,
Like
and
Arsenal,
could have
for
different
example,
views.
could be going into the season potentially with Erdegaard, Nketiah, and Martinelli, or we could have
Correct.
Serge Gnabry, Gabriel Jesus, and
Tillmans.
Tielemans, and someone like I don't know, like Smith Rowe or whoever on the other side. So it completely changes for me. But I always back my club, so I always think we can get as high as we can. People might think I'm deluded with that, but
No.
um,
If you're not aiming to go higher, then you're not
but I
aiming for
don't
anything
just
at all.
aim to get top four for me. Like for me next season, if we got top four and a trophy, that's a very, very successful season for me. Like I don't think it's out of the realms of possibility that we win the Europa League.
Okay. Well,
If
there's
we
some
find-
competition as well,
If
so
we bring
we'll
the right
see you guys
players
in there if that happens.
Yeah, if that's only if we bring the right players in for me, though. If we go into the season with the squad we've got now, we'll be lucky to get top six.
Even though you got top six quite comfortably.
Yeah, but you're talking about the last season, and this season's completely different because Man United are going to invest. Tottenham are supposed to invest. Newcastle will invest.
definitely will.
The way they're performing as well.
Yeah, and the
No,
way they're
City
performing. I'm not saying Aston Villa will get in the top six, but they're going to have better players. West Ham are going to do stuff. So
Strengthen.
Leicester could be back, depending if they get their
depends how many
mojo
players they
right.
lose for me.
Yeah,
but,
that is another point. But yeah,
like if
they're
they
losing
lose
they'd be in
Vardy
the
and
top four,
Schmeichel
yeah.
apparently.
if they lose Justin, Tielemans, and Iheanacho, that's three big players. they're the ones who have been rumoured to be leaving. So,
Mm.
I don't know. Like, it sounds like a cliche, but it all depends what summers these teams have.
It's a cliche, but it makes sense.
We'll look at it later.
I
Down the
do
line.
think we'll get Europe still, but it won't. You can't. Arsenal's squad can't go into what they have like, because they didn't really have their squad was so like thin and there's nothing there really. Like because you got to think if Lacazette goes as well, which I'm hoping. So we're only going to have Nketiah, as it stands now, Nketiah and Flo and Balogun. That's no disrespect, and I don't mean no. Finn, that's not even a top 10 couple of strikers.
No, exactly, a formidable strike force.
So I don't. It all depends.
Balogun's one for the future. So.
Yeah, I agree with that. And then Martinelli, who's been training to play through the middle as well. But I have to back Arsenal. It all depends on the summer, but we've got a few weeks off. We'll see how we do in pre-season. We've got what's going to help us as well. Europa League will help the youngsters that we've got coming through as well. Because you could probably play a few of those youngsters in the group stages and still potentially win the group.
Depends who you got.
No,
You could get a sticky side.
Yeah, but I'd be wanting to win the group. English teams are a lot better than these European teams.
But you wouldn't want to go into if you finish second, you'll go into like a playoff again and then have to face people drop down.
I want to win the group for me.
Yeah. I feel like that's a good incentive to have as well. If you win the group, you go straight to round 16.
Because you look when we played last time, people like Balogun. Yeah, Lottie might correct me if I'm wrong, but people like Balogun scored in that and was playing in that. We had a couple of youngsters playing, so just have to wait and see, really.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Lottie, what are your opinions on the Arsenal season? What are your thoughts?
Well, after 20 minutes of George, personally, if you ask me, beginning of the season was very dark. It was bad. It's the worst start I've ever seen to a season without European football. It's the first season I've seen Arsenal without European football in my old age. But it could have only got better. As time went on, we kind of picked ourselves up towards Christmas. We were doing better, but I still thought we could do better, and then we sort of continued up to Christmas, and then we got crashed again due to lack of squad depth. But then we kind of just yo-yoed the rest of the season. I mean, only Arsenal can be beaten by Brighton, Southampton, and Palace, and then beat Man United and Chelsea in style.
And West Ham.
I'm sorry, but this is now the second season in a row that we've won at the Bridge. It's great. The last time I was at the Bridge, I think it was Olivier Giroud that had a hat trick. That was the last time I was there, and that was a glorious day. And that was a long time ago. I'm sure Hubert will remember that game.
Yep.
But if you told me we were competing for Champions League spot beginning of the season, I would have laughed. Because my prediction was 6th, and we finished 5th. I'm very proud of these boys. I'm behind the team all the way. I mean, we've seen the likes of Smith Rowe come out of his shell. He's done brilliantly, being top goal scorer most of the season. Bukayo Saka played all 38 games this season as well. He's only just caught up with Smith Rowe, even though Smith Rowe's been out on injury. Pair of them both are top goal scorers, both in double figures, which is absolutely brilliant. I mean, Marcelli's not far behind. I think Aubameyang's up there in the top 4 as well, although he's left. The culture change within Arsenal has been absolutely incredible, and long may it continue.
So have we got any comments then? Hello?
Fitch is muted.
Can you guys hear me?
No, she isn't.
Yeah. I got Tom.
Okay.
No, sorry, my internet dropped. Sorry, guys. Got bloody thing. Got Matt is in the house from Tom. Matt Roberts said said it in the Cannon chat along. Never expected us to finish as high as we did, considering the January that we had, and that's the cost of the Champions League in the end. Not enough bodies to get over the line.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Matt wasn't expecting Europe, and now, wasn't expecting Europe, and now we'll have to contend with both teams potentially fighting it out for Wednesday, Thursday nights. I'm assuming Matt's referring to the Arsenal women as well, because we've got Champions League football. Matt Roberts, technically they didn't spend it as it's Barclays money.
Oh yeah.
Tom, 4% this year. I'm assuming he means season tickets have gone up.
Yeah.
Tom, bloody 2, right? No way Eddie can get 14. Johnny, which striker do you think Arsenal will sign?
Jesus.
I'm going to go with Gabriel Jesus, realistically.
He would be a great signing for you guys.
He would.
Yeah. Tom protesting, please, not Eddie with the number 14.
But
Matt Tavares.
If he scores 15 goals, I bet he won't be saying that.
Mm.
If he scores 15 goals, happy days, but it's not going to happen. He can score 4, put 4 across Sunderland, but can't score more than 6 in the league. Don't get me started. Matt Roberts, Tavares has had to move country and in a new league, just like Sambi, need time to adapt. You've also got to remember that Tavares has only been doing his job 18 months.
So is every other young foreign player, though.
Yeah, I know, George, but that's my point. All right, fair enough, but he still had to adapt to the league, so I still think we need to give him another chance, personally. Tom, I don't think we need top 4. I think winning the Europa League will get us Champions League place.
It most certainly will.
From Tom.
Any more comments?
That's the last one. Okay. Hubert, all yours.
Before we move on quickly, sorry, Hubert, I know. Lottie, I just want to ask you quickly.
Go on then. Hit me with your question. Come on then.
What are your what are your expectations for next season, and what sort of transfer windows? What sort of transfers do you want to see in the summer?
Well, looking at this team as a whole, we need 2 strikers, a midfield, and a fullback. That's what we realistically need this summer.
Anyone specific?
Let's give us some names. What would you have in each position?
Mbappe.
What, dreaming or realistic, or do you want both?
Give us both.
Give us both. It'd be interesting.
Right, so
compare the two.
I'd have Jesus as realistic and dreaming. I'd have them both.
Mm-hmm.
Nunez just for a dream, and then midfield I would go and still. Yeah, it could be, but I don't think so. Midfield, I'd go and steal Atletico Madrid's midfielder, Rodrigo de Paul.
They just got him though. Would they let him go?
I know they just got him. No, I don't think so.
Get him out of there.
I'd love to steal him. Realistically, it would be Yuri Tillemans, and then as for fullback, it would have to be. Is it Hickey George that we've been linked with?
Hickey,
I'd have him.
Bologna?
Who's got Hickey?
I was gonna say.
I don't.
As a dream signing.
If I speak, I'm in big trouble.
Hello, Jose.
As a dream signing, I would probably say Martinez up front.
Mm-hmm.
Declan Rice in the middle, or Jude Bellingham, if we're going on, because they're the sort of people I think we need.
Yeah. I'm not sure Bellingham.
Actually, do you know Bellingham is a good shout?
Dortmund aren't going to sell two of their good players in one season.
That's why it's a dream.
Yeah, that's not. But then Dortmund are so bad now. Realistically, if any of their younger players actually want to make something of themselves, they're going to have to leave Dortmund.
That's the thing, though. Dortmund don't have to sell.
Football, they will get it.
No,
yeah,
but Dortmund don't have to sell.
They're not competitive.
Somewhat.
No, they got knocked out by Rangers.
They did. They had a bad season for them. They did have a bad season. They are strengthening. Just next season.
George, they didn't do too bad this season. They still finished second in the Bundesliga. They're 5 points clear.
Don't get me started on the Bundesliga.
I mean, to be honest, I can win the Bundesliga. There's
only 2 teams that are any decent. Well, one and
Bayern
a half decent.
Give Leipzig credit. give Frankfurt a bit of credit. Give
and also
Leverkusen
Dortmund are
credit.
looking
I
to
can
buy
see
another
Bellingham
Salzburg
leaving
player. So.
next summer. But I
Yeah,
think
next
he's got
summer's more
I think he's
realistic.
got Liverpool over him, unfortunately. But
If they can stamp up
I think
100
Chelsea
million.
for some reason.
yeah, as a fullback, I think I've got the same one. Dream and realistic. It's probably I'd say Hickey. I've watched bits of him and he's really, really good.
Interesting signings. Any additional comments?
Nope, nothing's come in yet.
Okay, well, I'll quickly give a stand on Chelsea, see what we can talk about there.
Money.
Start of the
It's
season,
official.
I always...
New era.
What?
It's an official new era now. It's been confirmed.
Todd
Everything.
Carty at the helm.
Todd Bowley.
At the beginning of each season, I set out targets kind of as a supporter wide one, so I'll kind of do the review that way. So, league position, I said I wanted us to finish third. We tried to sell third place to anyone who wanted it, but we kept hold of it just about. So, tick for that. I wanted us to get further in the League Cup than we did before, the season before that. Much as we did it through a lot of penalty shootouts, we got to the final. Don't think the final was a bad loss myself. It was a loss on penalties. Kepa could be a great kicker for the New England Patriots if we're still looking for one. So that went okay. We won the World Cup, which I really, it's not a prestigious trophy, but it is a trophy to me. I see it as a trophy.
You didn't win the World Cup. It's the World
They
Club.
did.
It's a club World Cup.
World Cup.
It's a
still
trophy still, my friend.
Yeah.
I thought we had West Ham fans back on here then.
I still see it as a trophy myself, personally. So that's success. FA Cup. 3 FA Cup finals in a row and we lost all 3. Not brilliant stat, but the fact that we got to the final, I guess, is not too bad.
At least you made the Sun number 1 again.
Champions League. I think Champions League. Well, could we have done better than the season before? The only way we could have done that is by winning it, which let's be honest, that was always going to be a problem.
You went out to a team that won it in the end, so I suppose.
Exactly. So we got out.
You won the Super Cup as well, didn't you?
We
You
did.
did.
As much as we tried to throw
Just
away
about penalties
the
as well.
tie against Real Madrid, we did, in the end, produce quite an exciting 2-legged tie against them. So not too bad. I think we had our own troubles with the whole ownership thing. A lot of people said players should be professional and they should play on the pitch regardless of what's going on behind the scenes. But you'd be stupid
on the whole, to be honest.
I think you'd be they tried their best, but you'd be stupid not to think that it will affect the players because at the end of the day, they don't know what's going to happen to them at the club, where they have to find somewhere else or what's going to happen.
Exactly.
In retrospect, probably they were always going to find a new owner before the end of the season, but it was touch and go at times.
Oh, Todd Grisham.
I think when it comes to how well Thomas Tuchel did this season with everything, to be in 2 cup finals, 3rd in the league, lose to the European champions in the Champions League and win the Club World Cup and the Super Cup, I'd say it's a very good season. If anyone thinks Tuchel should go, you're a moron. Please go and get your head tested.
Keep him at the helm.
Do I think when it comes to the summer, my expectations are very simple. It's the defense. We need defenders. I'd like us to get Nkunku. We'll be linked with him. Not overly convinced about our link to Koundé, whether it's a good purchase or not, to be honest.
I reckon we're
trying to get him last season.
He's been linked with Barcelona now. I saw today.
Barcelona need to piss off. How are they getting away with that?
Maguire link, I think that's kind of died out now, but you never know what will happen.
Like I said, I'll pay for the cab fare.
I'll pay for you.
Honestly, I know people are taking the piss, but the way Chelsea play, I think Maguire would work for them because they play him 3 at the back.
No, he's your curse. He's not anybody else's problem. He's your curse.
No. Maguire works is a 3 in the back formation at England because England play 3 in the back. So if Chelsea play that, then it'd work.
When it comes to the new ownership, it's American owners. I'm skeptical, but I'm willing to be proven wrong. It's easy to say the right things, but it's always harder to do the right things.
Don't worry, you've been Glazer proofed. So
it will be interesting to see what happens with that. I think what Tuchel needs to do next season, he needs to win a domestic trophy at least, and we need to be challenging for the title. I think we need to progress. I don't think this season's been too bad. It could have been better, but it's certainly. As a Chelsea fan, I am not dissatisfied with the season. I'm not fully happy, but I'm certainly not dissatisfied with the season as it has been. So, yeah.
I've got a question for you, Hubert.
Mm-hmm.
Would you sell Lukaku?
Is it bad of me to say yes because he doesn't
No,
fit
it's
with
not.
Tuchel's system?
It's
No,
not.
it's your opinion, mate. There's no.
It doesn't. He doesn't work with Tuchel's system. It's either sell Lukaku or sack Tuchel.
I said at the start of the
Do you
season he wouldn't
rather?
fit Chelsea.
I'd rather sell Lukaku because I think Tuchel's had a very good season. Sacking him now would be unfair,
Yeah, that's a fair
in my
point.
opinion. The problem is, we spent a lot of money on Lukaku. It would be nice for him to remember how to score, but then again, we like to break our strikers. So
Here's the thing that I think that went wrong for Lukaku. It started off well. He scored a couple goals. He had that injury problem. He didn't get phased like when he kept getting put on the bench when he came back from injury, and then afterwards that whole interview happened. And when that dropped, it was like a bombshell. I think
kicked everything off.
that literally, and it kind of strained the relationship between Tuchel and Lukaku. So I think it went downhill from that point for Lukaku completely, and it just didn't really get back.
I hope something will happen in the summer. A breakthrough will happen.
I've seen from reports that he's sacked he left his agency and he's got a lawyer who was in with meeting with representatives from Inter Milan. So I think he's trying to angle for a move back. I don't know how true that is, but I've just seen it. But yeah,
I can see that, and I think if that does happen and we can sell him and reinvest the money, that would be good. I say this every season. I'd like to see our youngsters used more because otherwise it's just going to be the same old Chelsea, selling our youngsters, loaning them everywhere. I've heard some people say that if Conor Gallagher was to stay, he'd get played regularly. Again, please don't lie to yourselves. That's never going to happen.
I don't think that'll happen. Yeah.
No. We need to sell Gallagher, not because he's terrible.
You can get money from him.
To get money for him and to get him to have regular football, because he's not going to have it at Chelsea unless we get another transfer embargo, which, as we have new owners, will not happen. So, pretty much, names, like I said, Nkunku, Koundé, sign them to get some defence in. I'm not happy that we're losing Rudiger, but we couldn't negotiate a new contract with him properly without new owners. He made his mind up a long time ago.
I think he was going anyway, though, to be fair.
He made his mind up a long time ago. I think it's a shame because he's a quality player, but, not much we can do about it, really. But I need us to sign defenders. Don't really have a problem with our up-front strike force because Werner's learning slowly how to score. Havertz has been decent this season, especially compared to his debut season where he got kind of struck by COVID and he was a bit unlucky. So I think up front we don't have many issues, but we need to sort out defensively, especially that we've got Azpilicueta probably going Barcelona, I think, from what I've heard. Rudiger's going Madrid. Alonso's apparently leaving. Christensen's out of contract.
He's going with Barcelona.
Sarr, I'm not fully convinced that he's still very young.
Yeah.
We've got Chalobah, who I'm very happy with. Chilwell should be coming back. James is back.
I think that was a big miss as well. Chilwell injured.
And James were the big misses.
Yeah.
James
that
came back.
That killed your sort of attacking output because you were scoring from free defence and midfield.
Chilwell and James were the big misses throughout the season. I think there were certain games where I really felt we were missing them. I think
people got to not put too much pressure on Chilwell though, because that was a big injury.
It was a big injury, and I think he'll take time to recover. In a way, he'll have the pre-season to get back into things, which I think is what he needs. Because if he was allowed to play in the middle of this, let's say he got that injury earlier and then got allowed to come back in the middle of the season, he wouldn't be able to fully deliver. But maybe if he gets pre-season to recover, I think that could be really beneficial. So it remains to be seen what happens when it comes to Chilwell. He's a great player, and I do hope that this injury will not stop him from bringing back his full capability, because he is a fantastic player. And there's a lot of young players like Reece James, like Trevor Chalobah, who can really flourish and improve, and they've got plenty of potential that we need to get out of them. Because
what about someone like Ambrosio? Sorry. Yeah.
Again, he's another player. I'd like us to play our youngsters, but it's the most frustrating. As a club, as a supporter, as a Chelsea supporter, what always annoyed me and what always got on my nerves is that we don't utilise the youngsters enough within Chelsea itself. And I'd like to see us do that. I always said this. But we don't seem to have that model now. Will that change under the new owners? I'd like that. I really would. Because Broja's a great player.
Only time
Gallagher's
will
a
tell.
great player, but only time will tell what the owners will do. Because I don't give a crap what they say, because it's the words, they're easy to say. But what they'll do will be the biggie, because...
As Neil Diamond says, money talks.
Exactly. So... I'll believe things when I see them. I'll see what happens. This only got confirmed today, so realistically, there's still a lot.
You might be waiting a long time. You can't see, mate.
Fairly true. Fairly true there. So yes, we'll see what happens. But I'm hopeful for it. You know, the way the season ended, I think it wasn't that bad.
Just want to say, Abdi and Luke, do you remember those times? When
times?
when the Glazers and the Cronkies and Lottie took over, when you was like, yeah, I'm hopeful, and then the Americans dug their claws in.
I was too young to really sort of.
We'll look back at this in about 5 years, and Hubert will be on his knees, like begging for that. Oh, I should have listened to you guys.
As I said, though, I think they've Glazer-proofed them, so that sort of section can't really happen. Like to them,
I've always agreed
really
on American ownership. That I was very skeptical. So it's not like I've disagreed on this.
Whether they'll invest is a whole different story.
In the chat. Got a question for you in the comments. Facebook, I'm not sure who it is. Luke, could you let me know who it is? Where do you think Chelsea will finish next season?
Not really.
If we're looking at my usual target setting, I'd like us, if we want to progress,
it's Johnny.
Third's not second.
It's Johnny.
Second. If we need to finish second, we need to show that we're actually progressing. So second place for me, I'd like to see. If we could win the title, brilliant. But the gap sometimes between title winning and finishing second can be huge. I'd say I'd like us to finish second, really, in the league. If we finish
I think
third,
the title's going to be a lot closer. You know, like everyone's pinning it on because they've signed Haaland. That it's done. It's going to be done at Christmas. I
don't think it will be. But I don't think we haven't seen Haaland in a City shirt yet. We haven't seen him play with other players.
With the Haaland deal. Yeah, we did, but we know what happened there. But with the Haaland thing, I don't think it's meant for them to actually try and win the league, because they're still going to be doing what they're doing without Haaland even there. I don't think you're going to see City hitting 100+ points because they just signed Erling Haaland. I think it's more there for games where it's like against Real Madrid, where they needed a goal, and when they needed someone to step up and actually, instead of, what was it, who was up top for that? I think it was like Jack Grealish or something in that game. Just someone like Erling Haaland who you can ping the ball up to. Or towards the end of the season, games against West Ham, Aston Villa, where they'll trying to be more doing the long ball sort of stuff. If you had someone like a Haaland running onto it instead of 5 foot something Raheem Sterling, then it would be a whole different ball game. So yeah, I think it's more to do with just finding the odd goal and being the difference maker rather than trying to push for the league again. Go on.
If Mane goes, that Liverpool go and sign someone like a Kane or Son.
Yeah,
just to
that wouldn't surprise me.
No,
just
they
need to replace
with that
Haaland signing. And then if that happens, then anyone's.
At the moment, the price tag on Mane's head is about 42.5 million, and
which Bayern
interest.
would be more than happy to pay.
Yeah.
Nothing. Good. Yeah. See you later, Mane.
Well, he has a year left in his contract, so.
But yeah, when it comes to Chelsea, I'd like us to finish second, and most importantly, I'd like us to finally win the domestic trophy. Just because we've not.
Don't go to a penalty shootout or play Mount in the final.
Or play.
Yeah.
As long if you're playing Man United in there and it's a penalty shootout, then you're solid.
I'd be careful. I'd be careful
on that subject. To be fair, let's see if Man United can get there.
Kepa might score a great field goal. After you never know.
We could probably get there. It's just about getting over the line. I don't think we can.
When was your last final? I'm sorry.
Chelsea
last
got to
year,
the
2021
finals,
Europa League final, and it was a penalty shootout. So.
Didn't you fluff it though?
Hmm?
Didn't you fluff it though?
Yeah, we did, and that's what I've been saying.
Chelsea are good at getting to the finals, but we
Don't
didn't
be
get
messing
across the line.
around, Rooney.
Yeah, no, I don't know what it is with Chelsea in the FA Cup. You just don't seem you can get past that final line. I mean,
It's Mount. Blame Mount.
really, George?
Ironically, the last time.
Six
Yeah,
Wembley
yeah.
finals. He's lost every one of them. He should
That
play
is
for
the-
Spurs.
He's
maybe.
cursed.
It's true.
He
He's
is cursed.
cursed.
Don't
He's
play him.
cursed.
Keep him away from the stadium.
He should play for Spurs, really.
Yeah.
Any more comments before I move on to the rest of the show?
Yes, we do. Tommy, Tommy
Oh,
dropped
right.
out of the stream. Sorry about that. My phone rang. Where were we? Not sure what you've missed, Tom. To be honest with you, it was quite a fair bit.
Because
Tom,
Eddie was rid of him. Where's my happy birthday message, Tom?
Tom, we've all been struck with COVID, but look at the Brentford away game. Yeah, and I'm assuming this is to your prediction, Hubert. Second, ha 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 from Tom.
I mean, it's not that unrealistic.
Tom thinks you're going to win the title, mate.
I don't.
Liverpool,
I'm
Man City are miles ahead of, in my
They
opinion,
are.
miles
Everyone
ahead
else.
of the rest.
But if we want to progress, we need to be up there.
Yeah, but
I
you've got to
think
hope they
Chelsea
get
fell
worse.
away. I think
You'll
Chelsea, if
battle for it.
they could have been stable, I think they could have been in the mix for that. But
We dropped
No,
back.
they
a lot.
they
couldn't.
dropped
They
in
couldn't.
December, November. It's
Yeah.
when stuff just shit hit the fan and they could
Dropped
never
back.
recover
No,
from that,
the
really.
thing is, it's when they lost Chilwell and then they lost Reece James. That was when it went downhill for them.
For me, it all fell apart after the loss to West Ham. That's when it started.
Okay.
Any more comments?
Okay.
No, that's it. That's everybody.
Okay. Well, we'll get on with the
George,
other
isn't it?
parts of the show. So, first of all, we're going to go to some end of season awards. So,
Whoa!
for some of us, I have what we kind of gave in the mid-season, but I'll only reveal them after we hear the nomination for the end of the season. So, first award is for the player of the season, and we're going to start with you, Lottie. Who would you give player of the season to?
From my team or across the league?
It could be. It's across the league.
For the Pulse League, yeah.
I'm going to be a bit
Oh,
biased. I'm going to go with Bukayo Saka. He's played all 38 games. And he's been absolutely brilliant. And I knew George was going to fit the same. So I thought I'd pip him to the post.
Okay.
Love you too, Georgie.
Luke, who would yours be? Because you haven't given them in the...
Harry Maguire. Go on, Luke. Go on, Luke.
Phil Jones, 2 appearances. I'm joking.
Not Victor Lindelof.
No, Fanta Pants. Kevin De Bruyne.
Kevin De Bruyne. Right.
Yeah.
So Austin mid-season picked Salah. I don't know if you still stand by that, Austin, but
Do you know what? Austin is the biggest Jonah ever out there. I'm going to put this out there because whenever he guarantees something, it don't happen. Whenever he picks someone, like he said Salah, he's
Sorry,
been
Bell
absolute
boy.
shit since then.
Yep.
Right,
Right,
blame
George.
Austin.
Bearing in mind I've got your player of the season you picked in mid-season here, who would you pick for the season?
I probably picked Salah. What do you know me?
No, you didn't.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah,
No,
that's
I'll tell you who you picked after, but who would you pick
I
as
didn't
player
pick
of the
Eddie,
season?
did I?
I'll let you know you
think
did
he
know that.
picked
Tom
Smith
did.
Rowe.
No,
Player of the season. De Bruyne.
do you know who you picked mid-season?
Smith Rowe probably or something.
No, the Wolves keeper, Sarr.
Oh, did I? No, that fucking went wrong, didn't
Who
it?
did I pick?
You didn't.
You weren't
Did I
there
pick
for the
anyone?
mid-season one.
That
Oh,
was
well, no.
because that was before
No,
Arsenal
it was
broke
it was
them,
the
wasn't
first episode that we done.
Abdi, player of the
Oh.
season for you.
I'm torn between two, and I'm just going to be different. I'm going to flip it. I'm going to go for Mr. Heung-min Son.
Get
You
him
picked-
off.
You picked Salah
Get
in
in
the
the bin.
mid-season. So
Get in the bin.
He's
Should've
done that
stuck
on
with that one.
purpose.
should have picked, for me, the player of the season.
I did pick Salah, yes.
You did.
Tailed off.
They've all
Big time.
killed Salah.
For me, player of the season is
Yeah,
actually
himself.
going to be Conor Gallagher
Yeah.
because of what
Good
he did at
point.
Palace and how
Fair
he
play.
grown into playing there. A great player for me. If you want to put your nominations as well, please feel free to do so. And Lottie, let me know if any of them
You
have
know,
been-
like, I just threw up in my mouth on Abdi's answer.
We're going to move
Yeah.
on to young
Well,
player
you're
of
going
the
to keep doing
season.
that a little bit going forward. So
Signature came.
Young player of the season is the next award. Lottie, who are you going for the young player of the season?
Well, it's got to be my Smith Rowe.
Oh,
No, Emil
okay.
Smith-Rowe.
God's
He's been
sake.
top goal scorer all season.
What
George
is
is not
wrong
happy.
with you? That is both ones you've gone for. I was just about to say.
But that means you're going to have to pick someone else, eh?
George, I'm really... Come on, George, you knew I was going to pick those two,
Well,
surely.
we must be like telepathically connected or something.
Hey, that's why you're my bestie.
I bet you
Come
Tom
on.
goes for Eddie.
Tom's already he's messaged me. He's gone for Eddie.
Yeah.
Oh,
And Luke, who are you going to go for your young player of the season?
Charlie Savage.
Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Yeah, okay. Now Austin picked Bukayo Saka in
Yeah,
mid-season.
I think he could stand by that
He's
as well.
standing
Yeah,
that
yeah, you
one.
can have that one. He didn't ruin him. That's fine.
George, well, this is funny. Who are you going to go for?
I didn't go for Greenwood, did I?
No, oh, God.
No,
Thankfully not.
I don't think anyone did.
No.
You went for Benjamin Mendy.
So,
And I said about
He's not
Benzema.
young. He's not young. But the people he's seen. Oh,
who would I go for?
I'm going to hold back what I was going to say.
Nope.
Yeah, but it's best. It's best.
Come on, Georgie.
I'm really torn. Maybe. Can you come back to me?
George,
Well,
I thought you would have gone for Gabby.
It's funny, though, because you did pick Smith Rowe in mid-season.
Yeah, come back to me. I
Okay.
promise you I'll have an answer at the end.
Okay, Abdi.
I've got 3 names in mind, and
I
I
need
feel
one
like they're. I know. I think they're
Give us
all
one.
They all
very
three I might get a bit of
justified.
an idea. Greenwood.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Bukayo Saka.
Yep. Your mid-season was Emil Smith Rowe, actually.
Yeah, because he was doing better than Saka that time as well. Well,
George,
from
have
my
you
point of
got
view.
one, or do you want me to go to mine first?
Go to yours first.
I'm going to actually, and my player of the season and young player of the season are going to go to the same. It's going to be Conor Gallagher for me. Youngster with great potential for me. If he plays at another club, because he's not going to play at ours. Okay, George.
I've got 2. So it has to be torn between Saka and the other one that's a bit out there is Eze at Palace.
I like Eze. It's a
Yeah.
good one.
That's a
Well,
good
He's
shout.
Eze like Sunday morning.
I like that.
This
That's
is
good, George.
This is going to be a very interesting one. So we're going to go for signing of the season.
Oh, Jesus.
Lottie.
Easy.
Oh, I'm going to go Martin Odegaard.
Oh,
I
fuck
backed
that
him.
one. You know what? Yeah, I hate it.
I
It's
was
only
one
Martin
of the very
Arsenal
few that backed him. You can actually go and check it on Cannon Channel. All the boys didn't want him, and I went, do you know what? I'm going to back this boy because I was impressed when he was there. I want to see what else he can do, and he's had a brilliant season.
Luke, your signing of the season.
Diaz.
What
Yep.
one?
Oh,
Louis
Lewis.
Diaz. Liverpool's one. Liverpool's one.
Diaz.
Louis Diaz.
I think. George, you're signing up. Actually, no. Austin first went for Ramsdale.
Rambo.
Agree with, to be fair. George.
It's got to be my boy Rambo.
Yep.
Mr. Ramsdale.
Abdi.
I'm gonna get more abuse for this. Give me a sweet Dejan Kulusevski.
The fact
That's
that you
my
know
son.
the song is just disgusting.
That's.
Hubert, before we move to the next
TikTok
category,
is a thing. TikTok is a thing.
Okay.
You see
are
it
you,
everywhere.
are you
Well,
Tottenham in disguise, Abdi? Are you Tottenham
Maybe.
in
I
disguise?
worked there
Not.
for a bit. I did work there for a bit. I didn't work there this year though.
I
Who are you?
Hubert, I'm changing the subject completely because I'm disgusted. with
Hubert,
that
can I
thing
can I
over
jump
there.
into the can I
Yes,
jump
you can.
into the comments? Is that okay?
Yeah, please.
Matt, I can't see your question. I'm sorry that I missed it. Matt's telling me off. Johnny
Right.
Johnny has said Chelsea will challenge, but I reckon Man City or Liverpool will win the title again.
Probably.
Fair
What
enough.
was wet?
Tom has voted for Eddie Nketiah as player.
Yes, go on.
Go on, Tommy.
Can't take that
Go on, Tommy.
serious.
Eddie Mbappe, you what?
Matt's player of the season is Ramsdale because everyone picks a striker. I picked a winger,
I
midfielder.
picked
So
a goalkeeper, Matt. You know what I mean?
I didn't pick a striker.
I didn't get to pick who I
Robbo.
wanted to because someone
Yeah.
picks them all before.
Do you want to go
Hey,
first
George.
next time?
Yeah.
George, ladies first. Come on.
Hmm.
Austin's
I'm
not here,
assuming
though.
this is George. Shots fired. Wow. I'm assuming
Or
this is
shots
Johnny
and
again.
knackers, innit?
Andy Robertson's
Yeah.
the player of the season. I'm assuming
True.
young player of the
Yeah.
season. I'm assuming is Ramsdale from Tom.
Mhm.
Connor Gallagher for Matt for young player of the year.
Yep.
And Tom is calling for Eddie Nketiah to get a new contract. No.
He is
He's only
5
got it,
more
mate.
years. 5
Sign
more
the kid.
years.
Sign the kid.
2027.
Right,
There's
Hubert,
never
if you
Nketiah
don't
back
hear
with shirt.
Abdi talking, I've kicked him off the screen if he continues.
Mm.
Who,
I've
me?
kicked him off
So,
the screen.
Abdi
Yeah,
put
you.
Kulusevski as signing of the
Hubert,
season.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yes.
Who did I go for originally?
Ramsdale.
Oh,
Everyone,
I'm consistent.
Austin, George, Abdi, and myself went for Ramsdale, all of us mid-season. And to be honest, I'm actually going to stick with that because the big difference Ramsdale made and what a great goalkeeper he has been.
Then
after the
Abdi
crap
got
he
struck down
when
by
he
the
was-
virus of called Tottenham.
After the crap he got from when Arsenal signed him, the crap he was getting, and he proved all the critics wrong. To me, that is a sign of a great signing. That's for sure.
I just want to quickly justify why I put Kulusevski.
No,
in
we
my,
don't need to
signing
know.
of-
No, we don't
Move
know.
on.
No,
Right,
Don't-
move
It's
on.
because it's very
Move
brief.
on.
It's very
Move
brief.
on, mate.
Hubert, I've got a question for you. I missed this from Matt earlier. I do apologise. Matt said, asking H if Tuchel will still be there. He's nearing the 3-year mark and still hasn't been sacked after not winning.
Roman's
Europe.
not there.
Roman's
anymore.
gone.
Roman's not there.
Yeah.
So he will last. Will he still be there? Depends. Are you meaning will he still be at the what now or at the end of next season?
No,
Yeah, if
I
you can,
think it
if you
means
can
next
follow
season.
up.
Who
with
knows?
that,
He could fall out with people up top.
Matt, could fall out with people,
I
but
thought you said ask Nuno. I was
if
like,
you're
well, what's he
asking
got
me
to
if
do
he'll
with it?
still be there
Don't
by
ask
the end
Nuno.
of next
He's at
season,
the
that
local
depends
job
if he
centre.
wins. That depends if he wins anything.
Right, quick,
Because we're
next award before Abdi goes back to what he was
Matt is saying he's signing of the
just gonna
season with
say-
Sportsmania.
Oh, nice.
That checks in the post.
Johnny's signing of the season was Bruno Fernandes.
Oh, Ramirez.
No,
No,
it's
Ramirez.
Bruno Guimaraes.
Ramirez, I do apologise. I
Yes, I was
assume
thinking
when,
it.
when I see Bruno, I think of that
Yeah, we
wallet
often
United.
say.
bloody hell.
Right.
about-
Tommy is asking where John Terry is as well.
He's
No,
John
throwing
Travolta.
up.
Probably
You mean
shagging
John
his
Terry?
best mate's wife.
Sorry,
Right.
John
Austin.
Travolta. I do apologise. Sorry, Austin.
He's
Next
got,
award.
He's got his head down the
John
toilet.
Next
Chelsea
award
player.
is manager of the season. Who would we have as manager of the season?
Eee.
Oh,
Lottie. Let's see if you get George's answer.
Go fourth
Pat.
time.
Pat. It's Pat.
I'm gonna go
She's going
Patrick
for Pat.
Vieira.
I knew it.
That's fine,
Sure.
she'll get my answer. So
Luke,
That's
who are
good.
you going to go for?
do you know what? Mine's going to be out there. I know he's not been the whole season, but Eddie Howe.
Yeah?
How?
That's a good shout.
Hmm.
The way to transition that squad,
Austin.
the way
in
they were when they
mid-season-
bought.
Austin
got 'em.
mid-season picked Mikel Arteta.
Yeah, I knew it. Someone picked up to.
George, I've got your prediction from mid-season, but who are you going to go for?
For me, it definitely ain't Klopp.
Clippity
Don't know
clop.
how P won that.
Tipex
Yeah.
Steve.
Jurgen Failure Klopp. I'm gonna go Eddie Howe. For me.
Yep. In mid-season, you went for Bruno Lage.
Bruno Pint of Lager,
They
yeah.
were doing
I
alright
remember
before
someone
we
like
broke them, weren't they? So
Now, Abdi.
Hello.
he did go Ollie, did he? Surely not.
No, he
No.
didn't. He went. No,
Michael Carrick.
no, he went. Roy
I didn't go
Hodgson.
for- Roy Hodgson. I'm actually confused. I don't know who to go for.
A manager in the Premier League.
Yeah,
Not
I do
20.
know that.
Oh, Frankie.
Frank Lampard.
Yeah.
Frankie Lampard. No.
Daichi.
I missed Daichi. I would have given it to Daichi if he kept them up. You
Michael
know what?
Jackson.
I'm just gonna say Graham Potter. I'm gonna give it to him. I think
Oh,
Brian's
this
had a
is
good
funny
season.
because mid-season, that's who you've picked.
Oh, wow.
You know that answer could be
Let's go.
magic.
Let's go.
I've actually gone for Graham Potter mid-season, but I'm going to change that.
The Harry
And I'm
Potter.
going to change that to Patrick Vieira because he made Palace a very different team, and to transform a team like that in a season,
Senegal.
Yeah.
is
Honourable
going to
mention
be-
for-
in the balls.
that deserves
Yeah.
manager of the season.
Honourable mention for Thomas Frank.
Thomas
Yeah,
Frank,
honourable mention for Thomas Frank. Yeah,
Well, what's
Yeah.
he done?
but had a fantastic season with Brentford.
Yeah, it was just normal.
kept them
wasn't
up, I guess.
it?
Yeah,
I don't think Matt will pick him.
Did all right.
No, Matt
would
wouldn't.
not pick
Matt
anything
wouldn't.
Brentford related.
No,
let me
but
tell you.
especially against some of the big teams, you know, the performances against like Liverpool,
Yeah,
City,
Spurs.
Chelsea, Arsenal, United, he pushed us, Spurs.
Right, move on.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, I
Yeah,
forgot
well-
about that Chelsea one.
The
Move on
thing is,
to
you've
the.
got to remember, Abdi, is with the
Mm.
Arsenal at Brentford, it was revenge. We're the ones who sent them down 50 years ago. So it meant a bit more than just 3
To be
points to them that game.
listen, to be fair, it was the start of the season. You guys
And we had
had
loads of players out for
half
COVID.
your
but
squad
the loan
out.
had to cancel it.
But it was a rocking atmosphere. It was the first time they were in the Premier League, so
Yeah, that's the only atmosphere they had all season. I'm sorry.
Have we got nominees of the season of
I think
the
they've had some decent ones.
manager of the season in the comments before I move on to the next award?
Got Matt Roberts. We don't talk about Bruno.
Yeah,
You
literally.
don't.
Matt has chosen Eddie Howe.
Yeah.
Tom has
okay.
gone
How's
for
he done?
Arteta's Red and White Army.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's had a
Johnny
decent
has gone
season.
for Ralph. I can't say his last name, but who's manager at Southampton. Keeping up an
Oh,
average.
Hasenhuttl. Wait, was it Hasenhuttl or Ranić?
The one
Which
Southampton
House?
manager.
Yeah,
Not gonna
Hasenhuttl.
pick
Ah,
Ranić, is
I
he?
can't
Johnny,
pronounce
you
it.
let
I'm
me
not going
down.
to make a deal of myself. And then George, this one's for you. Tom Dyche, good choice.
Yeah, good one, mate.
Yeah.
Can definitely hold his liquid.
His voice went that bad during a few games.
Now,
It's like
this
his new
next-
nickname is Dyche.
These
Go on.
next two awards, none of us have. We haven't done them mid-season, but I'll be curious as to who will get this. So, first, this first award is for the overachievers of the season. We're gonna go for Lottie on this one. Who overachieved?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Fucking hard question.
Do you know what? Who surprised me most this season? I'm gonna have to go. You're gonna have to come back to me. I need to think about this one.
Luke, you're
Sorry.
overachiever.
Overachiever. Oh my god, this question is like hardest of the lot.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, do you know what? I've got my answer. Can I?
Okay.
I'm just gonna throw Jared
yeah.
Bowen. Jared Bowen in there.
Mhm. It can either be a player or a team, so to make it easier for people.
Oh, okay.
So you can go for either a player or a team. So Jared Bowen for Lottie, Luke, player or a team that overachieved?
Wolves. They're better than I thought
Okay.
they would.
Did
Did
they?
they
They
overachieve?
I
went
don't
down
know.
quicker than the Titanic.
They finished seventh like 2 seasons in a row under Nuno. So if they were overachieving, they would have had to go higher than that. But
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
your opinion. So that's fine.
George,
Yeah,
who would you say
it's
were the
got that's why.
overachievers?
Arsenal.
Damn you, picking my answer.
Because I didn't think they was getting anywhere near fourth or fifth. So say Arsenal, and then a player overachieve.
Eddie?
Yeah, that's a good shout, actually.
Like a Zet for scoring a goal.
When was that? Did I have
Yeah.
sight back then?
Yes. No, I
To
don't
be
know.
fair, that the one that he supposedly scored was an own goal.
Yeah,
Joe Linton.
Yeah, actually, that's a good answer.
Oh,
Linton.
yeah. No, that actually is.
Because
No, that really
Eddie
is.
Howe turned him into actually into a footballer. So thanks for that.
Oh,
that player
how
just
did he
popped into my
turn
head.
it from a £40 million flop that everyone was taking the piss out of to, not even going to lie, one of the top midfielders in the league in terms of
So,
stats
yes.
wise? It's
Abdi,
mad.
Arsenal and Joe.
Who are you going to go for,
Awesome,
Abdi?
Um,
Overachievers.
I'm going to go for Brighton. I don't think anyone expected them to finish as high as they did, and it's the best season they've had in the Premier League. So, yeah, top half finish for the Seagulls.
Excellent. My nomination, I'm going to say the same thing as George said because it is true. It's fairly accurate. I'm going to go for Arsenal. Right.
I would have gone for them, but I changed it.
Any awards for nominations for overachievers in the comments before I
I
move
can't
on?
believe it. Tottenham have not won tag yet.
That's not surprising.
I've got Matt Roberts calling for me to ban Abdi from the screen.
What did I do?
Matt is also
Brighton.
chose Brighton.
I think it was a Thomas
Tom-
Frank comment.
Oh, about the Brentford thing, wasn't
Yeah.
Tom's nomination for the overachievers of the darts fans at the O2.
it?
Even
didn't
George,
write
is
it,
there a
man.
joke we're missing out on here?
It's just everyone was just fighting at the O2, and it was like Royal Rumble. And
Yeah, it was
God.
like
UFC.
WrestleMania.
all the
I
friends
can't WrestleMania.
60 beers and
Any
all
others?
that.
Matt has chose Jesse March.
Yep.
Jim Carrey. Yeah, Jim Carrey.
Johnny's come from Man United as the overage.
Overachievers, nice.
Welcome
Yeah.
back. No,
To
that's
be
the
fair,
Johnny
I wanted them to get Conference League and then Europa. It's
They
all right, we'll
overachieved
go
and got Europa League, eh?
Yeah. Yeah,
Thanks to
they
West
did.
Ham, to be fair.
Yeah.
Right. Moving
And
on
that's
to
everything.
the next award. It's the opposite. We're going to flip it, Lottie. Underachievers.
Oh, I've got mine already.
Oh.
Yeah, got mine
Biggest
too.
disappointment? Eddie Nketiah. No, it's Lacazette. It's Lacazette.
Yes!
Disappointment. Surely it's expected every season.
Oh, it's at that point, yeah. Put it this way, I've now converted his song to our number 9, who plays for the women, Beth Mead. She scores 30 yarders for fun. So
I've had more
we've lost
vaccine
his
shots
song.
than Lacazette's had this year.
Okay,
That is
Luke,
true. Me too.
who's your underachiever?
Team-wise, Man United.
Mm.
Player-wise, Romelu Lukaku.
Yeah, that's a good one, to be fair. George?
Right, so I've got this worked out. So, biggest underachievers as a team, Manchester United.
Yep.
Yep.
And
I
the
vote
biggest
there as well.
underachievers as players, number 1 to 11 that play for Manchester United.
So basically, they're starting 11, yeah?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Abdi, who are you going to go for underachievers?
Man United and Everton, both.
Yeah.
I think they're both severely underachieved.
Also, my other overachiever was Ralph Rangnick.
My underachievers are going to go to Romelu Lukaku and team-wise, tell you what, because we're going to talk about this in our predictions probably, Leicester City.
I was just thinking Leicester. In my head.
Yeah.
No one's
Yeah.
really on for it.
Underachievers for me.
I'm gonna throw my team in there. I'm gonna say Aston Villa.
Yep, that's another good one.
Yeah.
That's another good one, to be honest. So, any underachievers in the comments before we move on?
Yeah, Matt has
Yeah,
gone for
Tom.
Jordan Henderson because he's still at Liverpool.
He loves Jordan, didn't he?
His favourite player.
Team-wise, Matt's gone for Everton and Southampton. Johnny has gone for the England captain as an underachiever.
Harry Maguire.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Oh no, that's Harry Kane.
Yeah.
Window lifter.
Yeah,
When did
that's the one, George. And Tom Austin trying to charge his phone in the trolley, end up pissed. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, that happened on the
That
last.
was funny, to be fair.
That was the last match day, and Austin was going around saying, "Yeah, I need to go home and drive home." And then he was like, "I need to charge my phone." And the next time we saw him, he was completely smashed out of his head, and we was like, "You ain't driving home now."
And the phone's still dead. Right. So, the next feature is your starting 11 for the season. So, each of you hopefully has picked us a starting 11 for the season. We'll start with Lottie.
Okay. So you want me to name a complete 11? Yeah, but is that right?
Of your favourite of the players of the season for you.
Okay. So Aaron Ramsdale.
Yep.
Trent Alexander-Arnold, Cancelo, Reece James.
Not your fantasy team.
Behave yourself. Actually, that's actually fair. I have got them in my fantasy team. Middle of the park would be made up of Salah. I hate to say it. Son, Saka, Bowen. Luis Diaz. And then I'm going to go for Jamie Vardy and
That's a very
Cristiano
interesting
Ronaldo.
Very interesting lineup. Who's defending in that team?
Yeah.
Who's defending in that team? It's all our attack.
No defenders.
There was. You had Trent, James.
It's an
We've got
interesting
Trent,
Can
James.
Trent defend? Trent cannot
Cancelo.
defend. That's a myth.
What about
Trent cannot
centre-backs?
defend.
He's got me enough fantasy football points this season. I ain't complaining.
Yeah, he's more of an attacker anyway. But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Luke, your team of the season.
anyone that don't play for you, probably.
Right.
Very accurate.
Ederson,
Ooh.
Trent Alexander-Arnold, Van Dijk, Diaz, Cancelo.
Yeah, but it's Noel Gallagher. His dad.
Good.
Sorry. Because he said Diaz.
He
Diaz
did.
is
Yeah,
I know.
he did.
Noel Gallagher.
That was
Fabinho,
mad.
Phil Foden, De Bruyne.
Hey?
Yeah.
The over
Cristiano Ronaldo,
BTEC Saka.
Son, Kane.
Okay. George.
I'll just clarify, you will not see me pick any of that lot in my team.
I didn't think so. I'll be.
I won't.
George, I'd be absolutely stunned if you did.
If you picked a Tottenham player, I'd ban you from the channel.
I'm going to go Ramsdale, Matty Cash.
Cash.
Yeah. Interesting.
Rudiger, Van Dijk, Cancelo. Midfield three of Declan Rice, Conor Gallagher, and who's the other one I chose? Saka, and then a front three of. To actually swap that, De Bruyne where Saka was, then Saka, Vardy. Just because I think at the start, I know he got injured for most of it, but he's still near.
Barely played.
He's still that joint top scorer.
Yeah, which is mad. He scored all of them in the first 2 games, and then
probably Diaz.
Okay. Abdi.
Right. Alisson in goal. Trent Alexander-Arnold at right back. Matip and Van Dijk together. Cancelo as left back. Rice, Rodri in the midfield with De Bruyne in front of them. And then up front, the front three of Salah, Ronaldo, and Son. Honourable mentions for Jared Bowen and Bukayo Saka.
So 8 of those were from the top 2 teams.
Possibly, yeah.
7.
Yeah. Listen, it's a team of the season, so if I wanted to do a team of the season outside of those 2, I could have done a team of the season outside of those 2.
Yeah.
It would make it very different, but I just thought.
Then that's easy.
I think Matip is had a very underrated season. I think he's actually performed better than Van Dijk has this season. So.
Yep. Hold on. There we go. Right. My team I have right here. So Ramsdale in goal. Back defense of Diaz, Arnold, White, and James. Midfield
that's an interesting one.
That's different.
Salah, Luis Diaz.
I was torn to go
Eric
for what as my centre half was either Gabriel or Rudiger. So I didn't.
Gallagher. And then I've got Antonio and Son up front.
Well, I don't agree with that Antonio one, mate.
So yes,
Antonio
was
I did consider Gabriel as a centre back because didn't he score like 6 Premier League goals? He came in clutch for me this season.
I wasn't sure about Antonio up front, but I thought I'd put him there.
He fell off.
So,
hard.
if you want your nomination for Team of the Season, have we got any of that in the comments?
Nope.
Okay.
Unfortunately not. Guys, come on, get your comments in. We want to see what you've got for Teams of the Season.
Yes. If you want to put your Teams of the Season, feel free, because next we're going to
go Eddie.
The final part of the season, which is see which one of us in Sportsmania has won the season on predictions. So I'm going to go through our predictions and kind of have a bit of a chat, and then I'm going to reveal the scores on the doors. So the first thing we predicted, top 4. So I'm going to read out some predictions here for people. So Abdi, your top 4 was as follows.
No.
Chelsea, City, Man United, and Leicester.
Almost there.
So for every correct team in the top 4, you get a point. You got 2 points.
2 points.
Well, that's more than most of your team got most seasons.
Yep.
No, got more than that.
Your top
Give
4.
Andy the job.
Chelsea, City, Man United, and Liverpool.
I got 3 then.
You picked up 3 points. George,
I reckon I got about 1.
No.
City, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man United.
Yeah, there you go.
You've got
3
3 as well.
I picked. This is embarrassing. I picked Chelsea,
Burnley,
Man United,
Watford,
City, and
Norwich.
Liverpool.
Oh my god.
Got 3 points somehow for this.
Flip upside down.
Austin,
If
City,
he
Liverpool,
wins,
Chelsea, and West Ham.
You got 3 as well then.
So you got
He done his in January, bearing in mind the
A
ones.
lot of us got 3.
So he did
We all
pick
got
3
3.
points.
Mainly.
we all got 3 apart from Abder.
Lottie,
Yeah, because I picked Leicester.
City, Liverpool, United, and Chelsea.
3 as well. See,
Not bad.
That's 3
3's
points.
all round.
Not bad.
3 points. So
It's
there's
because of
that.
United. That's the curse.
We carry on. 5th and 6th place. Abdi picked Liverpool and Arsenal. So you got 1 point. Luke picked Leicester and West Ham, so that's nil point.
Back to Eurovision.
George picked Leicester and Spurs, so that's another nil point. I picked Leicester and Arsenal, so that's 1 point. Austin picked Man United and Arsenal, that's 1 point.
Hey, that's 2.
That's
Yeah,
two.
Two.
2 points, yeah.
That's 2.
He's got 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, Austin's winning. Shows how shit this is.
Lottie,
Bearing in
picked-
mind, as I said, January compared to August.
you picked. Lottie, you picked Leicester and Arsenal, I believe.
Yeah.
That's 1.
That's 1 point. 7th place, we've all picked and we all got it. We all got 0. Abdi picked Spurs. Lloyd picked
Hey.
Arsenal. George picked Villa. I picked Villa.
I went really bad with us. I weren't confident at all.
Austin picked Wolves. So yeah, promoted teams to stay up. We've done.
Oh,
Abdi, you went none. So that's 0
sorry,
points.
Brentford.
Luke went Brentford and Watford, so you got 1 point for that. George went for Norwich and Watford. I went for Brentford and Watford.
1 point.
Norwich. Austin went for Brentford and Norwich. Lottie went for Watford. It's 0 points.
There's 1 for Austin.
I don't have a
as well.
feeling Austin's going to beat everybody.
Well, we'll find out
He's-
soon.
Yeah.
Part timer, he'd only done it from
You've done a
January.
surprise relegation candidate. Abdi, do you remember who you've gone for?
Probably
Palace.
Palace.
Yeah, it was
Palace.
Palace.
I remember you saying it.
Surprisingly, that's 0 points. Luke went for Burnley.
Yay!
Told you.
1 point.
You're all laughing at me. You're not laughing now, are you?
I never laughed at you. I would have said that was reasonable,
No.
to be fair.
The other 3. Not
Fuck
apart
off,
from you.
Burnley. Fuck off, Burnley.
I went for Southampton. Austin went for Everton.
Oh, yeah,
Now-
well,
I'm not sure. Did we give him this because Everton didn't get relegated, but they were a
He-
relegation candidate.
He originally was. I think he was trying to say
He said
Wolves
that
or
down.
something. There was someone else. I remember I was watching it back a couple of days ago just to see
VAR.
to prepare.
So should I give him this 1 point or not?
Let's ask John
yeah.
Moss.
As I said, all of his predictions are from January, so either way they'd be skewed.
John Moss
That's
is
what
just checking on VAR.
So should I give him this 1 point or not?
I'll leave it up to you. I
Okay.
don't know.
They were. I consider Everton relegation candidate, even though they didn't get relegated. So I will.
John Moss has checked on
Give him
VAR
that
and
point.
Xhaka's got a red card.
Lottie, did you pick a surprise relegation candidate?
I think I went for Leeds.
Leeds. Yep.
Oh, are you at the
So,
post?
Right. Again,
Just.
they were
What
a
do you-
relegation candidate.
Luke,
so
do you mean as bad as
but
Bruno
no,
Fernandes
last
penalty
day-
against
Last
Arsenal?
day of the season, so it
Yeah.
doesn't.
Yeah,
Really, they
candidate.
went down to last day of the season, so
So
it doesn't matter.
I'll give you a point for that one.
Who the fuck did I go for?
Relegation. Here we go.
Who did I go for?
I went for all of them.
Southampton
didn't
for
I?
a surprise relegation.
Oh, did I?
A relegation bottom 3. Abdi, you went for Norwich, Brentford, and Watford.
2 out of
So you got
3.
2 points. Luke went for Burnley, Southampton, and Norwich. That's 2
Yes,
points.
go on, Luke. Get rid of that.
George went for Norwich, Southampton, and Watford. 2 points.
You didn't even go for Burnley. Fickle.
Yeah, how did you
No,
not go
that's-
for Burnley, George?
Fickle.
can't remember why. To be fair, I think because Southampton sold Danny Ings and people. I thought they was.
I
gonna
went
destroy.
for Watford, Norwich, and Wolves. So I've got
Plus,
2
I thought
points.
they'd keep Dyche, and I thought that would save them.
Now,
But instead, they brought back a dead pop star.
so I got Watford, Norwich,
thriller.
Wolves. Austin went for Everton, Newcastle, and Watford. So he only got 1 point.
That's how you can know Austin done it in January because Newcastle.
Yeah.
Lottie, you went
Surprised
for
he didn't go for
Norwich,
Norwich.
Brentford, and Leeds, if that's correct.
Yep, that is correct.
So you got 1 point. Lucky escape team. Here we go. Abdi went for Burnley.
They did not get lucky. They were
You
close.
cursed him.
Happened,
You
didn't it?
cursed them.
They were close. This is August, so yeah.
Good.
Luke went for Watford.
No, it didn't happen.
Unlucky.
They sat too many managers.
George went for West Ham.
Whoa.
It was a lucky escape. They could have been playing in Europa League for them. They didn't want that. They wanted to have a go in the conference.
I
League.
went for Watford.
Mm.
Austin went for Norwich.
Whoa.
Pretty
Okay.
yo-yo.
Lottie, who did you go
Okay.
for? Go for.
It's because
Did
you,
you pick
it's
one?
'cause you kept
That one?
having a go at Norwich.
No, I probably would have gone with
After
Burnley
Norwich.
at the
Okay.
time.
Golden Boot. Here we go. This is where we
Oh,
all
I
got that.
remember who I said.
Well, no one's
yeah.
going to have got this because that twat
No.
got shared it. So I don't think.
Romelu. I said
Abdi
Romelu
went for
Lukaku.
Lukaku.
Yeah.
Luke went for
What the fuck did I
Vardy.
say? Oh, fuck
George
yeah.
went for Harry Kane.
Go on, George.
I went for Lukaku. Austin went for Salah. Now,
Oh, he wins it then.
well,
January.
2 people won it. People won
Son
that.
and
Yeah,
Salah.
but
He
he's
picked one of them,
No,
so I'm tempted to be harsh and give him
Yeah.
half a point.
Yeah.
you
Yes.
can't give him half a point. They still.
He
Surely
didn't
he's got
pick
to.
both of them.
I think his point should be voided. He's not here.
No, do you want him in? Like you'll be hearing his answer, like, and you'll be hearing.
No. We don't have to have him here. He's not here. Let's leave him.
Mate, you
No,
got to
I
give
think
it to him.
he
You
should
didn't know
get
it's going to be
a point
2
for that,
people, did
because
you?
He's
Okay, well,
still,
I'll check-
Salah's
Yeah.
still there.
Okay,
He
know.
is technically.
I'll change
He
it.
didn't.
To,
It's not hard. He don't lose half his goals because like.
Okay. So I've changed it to 1 point. Lottie, you went for Harry Kane.
Family loyalty there, wasn't it? So,
Share.
Oh,
Let's go.
manager of the season.
Share. He's a defender.
Yeah. Yeah.
Manager of the season. Here we go. Abdi went for Tommy Tickle.
That worked.
Luke went for Tommy Tickle.
1 second.
George
I don't
went
remember
for
saying
Don Mikel. I went for Tommy Tickle.
Sort of
Austin
Tickle
went for
round.
Guardiola. Lottie went
Well,
for
that's
Guardiola.
not a bad one for Austin.
Manager of the season went to Jurgen Klopp.
Blech.
Don't know
Who was
how.
the
I don't
Barclays
know how.
manager of
No,
That
it's
we
not.
need another show for that.
Yeah.
League Cup winners. Abdi went for City.
Oh, God.
Luke went for Man United.
Yeah.
George went for Man United. I went for Leicester. Austin went for Chelsea.
Oh, it's unlucky.
Lottie went for City. So
They finally lost it.
FA Cup winners now.
Everyone actually
Yeah,
thought
but-
quite high of Man United, didn't they?
Abdi went for,
They
for
did.
Arsenal. Abdi went for Arsenal for the FA Cup.
Hey!
Luke went for Liverpool.
Luke
Oh,
went-
wow.
I got it right
fucking hell. Luke,
George went for
shot in the
Arsenal.
dark.
I went for Chelsea.
Sometimes shooter's going to miss. But you hit.
Austin West went for West Ham. Lottie went for Arsenal. Conference
I've
League
went
winner.
there.
Let's just.
I did go for Arsenal.
I've got all of us went for Roma apart from Lottie, who went for Spurs.
Did we all
So-
go for Roma?
All of us went for Roma. All of us get
Oh,
a
nice.
point.
Yay.
Oh, the Conference League. I don't remember.
I thought I went for
I don't know
Spurs.
what I'm saying after
Okay.
this.
Europa League. Here we go.
Sevilla, I
God.
said.
Abdi went Sevilla.
Oh,
Yeah.
Luke went Leicester. George went for
You're fucking
Rangers.
miles off.
Oh, I forgot you were
Oh,
nearly
he hit
close
the
there.
post.
George was the closest.
Just like
I
Aaron
went for-
Ramsey, but he,
I
you
for
know.
somehow predicted that Real Madrid would drop into the Europa League and
Yeah, I
win
remember
it.
that.
Look at that. Yeah.
Let's
How-
not
how
talk
that's
about the
changed.
Champions League one.
Austin
Why
went
did
for
they prove you
Dortmund.
wrong?
Lottie, who did you pick?
Oh, what for the Europa,
Europa League.
Oh god, I don't think I picked anybody. I think I
Okay,
passed on this one.
Okay. Champions League.
Yeah, let's not talk about this one. Move on.
Abdi went for Man
No,
United.
Yeah.
I got this. Yeah, no, let's talk about this one. I got this one right.
Abdi went for Man United.
Hold on. Repeat that again.
I was very optimistic. No,
My
George,
connection
don't
didn't
say
work.
that
No,
because you
no.
know who you
I
went for as
didn't
well.
actually hear you.
Do you know who you went for, George? I
Abdi
know
went
who
for
you
Man
went for, George.
United. Abdi went for Man United.
Just-
Luke
I
went
did.
for
I did.
PSG.
Unlucky.
Oh, I'm for PSG. Fuck.
George, yeah.
We
George
had more of
went
a
for Man
chance at
City.
PSG.
Man City for George. I went
Yeah.
for Chelsea.
Not gonna happen.
Austin
Unlucky.
went for City.
They got further than you boys, didn't they,
Lottie
mate?
went for Real Madrid.
Who?
Yay! I did.
Yeah,
So
well,
here,
still
time for
can't win.
scores on the doors. Let me just adjust a few scoring options.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
I can't believe
Yeah.
you said Man United. That was funny.
Like,
Best
Lottie,
joke I've
let me
ever heard.
explain myself.
He's confident. He
It was
thinks they're back next
August.
season.
No.
You made
It
me
was
laugh that
no.
hard,
Let
I've
me
actually
finish. Let me finish,
We win the
please.
quadruple
It
next
was
season.
no. Shush, George. Let me
George,
finish.
stop it.
It was in August. I
Phil
just want to
Jones,
throw something
Golden
out
Boot.
there. I just saw Chelsea do it. No one was thinking of Chelsea. I was like, let me go out there and just say United for some reason. I don't
Here we
know.
go. Point.
It could have
I don't
happened.
mean to be funny.
but-
You were light years behind Chelsea.
Phil
and I hate
Jones-
Chelsea.
No,
so,
Phil
that's the
you
thing.
know,
Jones is getting the
No.
Golden Boot next
Chelsea.
season.
No. But that's the thing. Chelsea, when they with Frank Lampard, were at the start of the season, no one would have said Chelsea would have won the Champions League. Then they sacked him, brought in Thomas Tuchel. Everything clicked, and bang. It could have
Didn't,
clicked, but it didn't.
didn't
It just
look
fell
at it
apart.
click.
So we didn't get
Abdi,
that. But yeah,
Abdi, that
it's fine.
figure's coming out to get you out of that hole, my friend. Don't worry. While it does that, I'll give you the
Hold
scores.
me, pull
Phil
me out,
Jones,
pull
Golden
me out.
Boot. Abdi
So,
would say that
scores
he will.
wise,
Go on.
Abdi and George tied with 6 points.
Yeah.
And there's me with
stinkers.
8 points.
Feel sorry for him. I've got to keep him company.
And in joint second place,
Don't worry, Thursday Night Mafia. I told you.
Lottie and Luke
Exactly.
tied with 9 points.
Oh, no way. Wicked.
And winner by
Fucking hell.
VAR decision, Austin with 10 points.
See,
I think
Austin,
that's
what the
bullshit
hell?
It's
because
the season, and
it
he's
was
not
in
even
January.
See
It
how
was in
things
January.
change. Austin
Okay,
only
then
won
you
because
can
of
call
me.
my position unfair because I've only recently done mine.
I
So
I'll say Lottie takes it because she done hers in August.
But Austin only wins because of me, because it was me who argued the VAR decision.
Well, otherwise, Austin would have had 9.5 points, so he still would have
See?
won it.
you still would have won
Would've
either way.
He still would have
For
won
half a
it.
point.
VAR check, Xhaka definite red.
So, Austin, well done, my friend. You've won the season on predictions. We will do it again
So
next
the
season.
winner-
Hopefully.
Austin has to pay everyone on this show £20 each. So just like that.
Hey. No, Austin, the winner has to say who's in the Milan derby.
Do you know when
The
you were
winner
saying
has to
that,
go
Luke?
to the
I thought you was
Milan
waiting
derby.
for him to answer.
All of a sudden he's appeared back in the chat, gents. Hey yo, I won. Have it.
We've said his
Hey,
name
yo,
too many
what's
times.
Scott all doing here?
Yeah, say
Right.
his name too many times and he appears.
Has there been any comments based on what we've
A
heard
bit
before we
was
finish the show?
Yeah, there's quite a few. Question from Johnny. Which one of us is the best fantasy Premier League player? It's definitely not me.
Depends
Probably
what
me.
you're asking. If you're
That's
asking about
definitely.
cups,
In my humble opinion, because I finished highest out of everyone here.
I got to a cup final and bottled that as well.
Yeah, I
anyone
did
win
as well. I
did
bottled it
anyone
against
win the
Wilge.
cup? Did anyone win the cup here?
Oh, George, shut up.
No, I got to the final. Jake beat me.
Did you win the cup?
I didn't win the cup.
Or win
No.
a cup,
Luke.
sorry?
No,
Luke,
Yeah.
I ended up playing
I've won a
George.
league
Won't let me
title,
forget
though.
it. Won't
Oh.
let me forget it.
So, yeah. I won the cup against Lottie in another...
Oh, fair play.
Won't let me forget it, will ya?
No,
Hmm.
I'm going to get you next season, I promise you.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is
yeah.
only my first season playing as well.
talk is cheap, Lottie.
Uh-oh,
George, didn't
here
you win-
comes trouble. He's not that sick.
Oh no, get him
He's
off
in
the
the
screen.
room.
Get him off the
He's
screen.
in the room. He's here.
No,
Austin.
Spewy,
I
get off
heard-
the screen.
I
The
heard
pre-
I won.
The predictions champion has arrived.
Yeah,
Austin, you
done
owe
yours
me.
in
I
January.
argued your case, mate.
Yeah, I know. I was watching.
Hey? Brotherly love, you know what I mean?
Thank you.
Austin,
You got
You can-
COVID.
would you like a winner
He's
speech?
spreading COVID through the internet.
Well,
not-
as
no,
long as it
I've
ain't
not-
monkeypox, we'll be alright.
Oh, you have to have sex to do that.
So the one
What?
person with zero.
That's what I have to.
Hold on, what? You had to have sex to have...
I don't want to go into it. I'm gonna get done for certain stuff. There's certain
This
permutations.
clip is going to get taken off YouTube if you go into any more detail.
Anyway,
So anyway, we'll
any
carry
more
this
com-
conversation off screen. But
Yes,
that's
please.
so-
Can
so
you need to
the
finish
one
the show up
person-
with
the-
comments
the-
and
The one person with zero football knowledge ended up winning.
I was hoping you're not going to say
no,
that.
Jack's
question.
not on there, mate.
ended up winning predictions.
My
on
my
football.
friend Austin, my friend. Yours was in January. Ours in August. You had some sort of knowledge of where everything was.
Listen,
That's not an excuse. If we
leave
had
the
used our ones from
alone.
January, no, if we had used our ones
Dead
from
in the
January,
red
it would have been
corner.
different.
Same
It would have
old
been different. But
United. Always excuses. Same
it's not even
old
about United. It's literally just me.
Always excuses.
Always excuses.
It's fine.
I'll
Anyway,
leave
well
Abdi
done,
alone.
Austin.
Because you
Well
look
done.
Any other
Leave
comments?
Abdi alone. He's positive. They're winning the quadruple next season. Phil Jones
You
is
tell him,
getting the
George.
golden
You
boot.
tell him, George. You
Eric
tell him.
Ten Hag, Eric at the wheel.
Eric said the word. Tell him, Georgie boy. You tell him.
Oh,
Phil.
are you going to
You
start singing
tell
us
him.
the
They've
10
got
No,
Ten
Ten
no,
Hag?
no,
He knows
that's
exactly
not
what he needs. Tellers at the back, Rashford in attack. United all not win the Europa League. So there you go.
True.
It's fine. But
Any more comments, Lottie?
listen, Man
yeah.
United at the back.
George.
Abdi knows it.
George.
George, shut up.
No, you're
Yeah,
wrong.
I've
Shut your
Tom
mouth.
said West Ham with a question mark. Matt said, "What is this Eurovision?"
Yes.
Tom
Dunno.
Jones is coming
I've got
out on
2020
Thursday.
vision.
George.
Cool.
Tom says no.
If it's Eurovision,
Don't give Austin the points,
sympathy
Hubert.
vote.
I'm assuming. Manager of the season goes to Jonas Eideveld. I can back that fully.
Yeah.
He's definitely the WSL manager of the season. Forget Emma Hayes. Put her in the bin. JT's the winner. Tom's laughing his head off.
Austin's the Ukraine of the Eurovision. He's got the
JT's at the
sympathy
wheel.
vote.
Ha 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 ha. Austin's comment. I've already read that. JT, there he is from Tom. Tom, let's not be calling Austin the Candyman. Say his name 3 times and then he appears.
Boom.
To be fair, we said it more than 3 times and he appeared.
I've said it way too many times.
Yeah, Sam, just a quick
Because the
hello.
Candyman can.
Hey, Sam.
As like a granddad, I'm about to go to bed. We'll watch back tomorrow.
Cheers, mate.
Right.
And
Well,
Matt has
it was a very long
run
show.
to his and Matt has run to his microwave
Yeah.
to grab his popcorn.
Bloody hell, it's been in there all show.
How much popcorn are you eating? Chill,
that's
brother.
a lot of popcorn, mate. I don't even
Way
have that
too
much.
many.
Oh, rated Odeon.
Size boxes, probably.
Well,
Just
there
get
we
one of
go.
invest in one of those. You know,
That
if he's
is-
ramming through that in like 5 minutes, then
that
yeah,
is the
you
end
need to
of
do
the
something
season,
about that.
people.
Is it?
Well done.
Is it?
Well
We're
done,
back
Austin.
again for the UCL review. So,
hang on.
That's going to
Abdi,
be a
hang on.
special, and then
Go
we'll
on.
be back for more stuff in the summer, and we'll be back with Premier League and stuff and predictions and all that in August. We'll do it all again.
Do I get a predictions parade?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's
Do I
called
get my own
Sharp.
bus? Do I get my own bus and a bunch of fans?
No.
Right.
You'll probably get more turn up than City did at the.
I can send you a bus
Championship,
emoji if
Exactly.
that helps. No?
I mean,
Okay. Well, we thank you everyone for
Definitely.
following the channel through some of this season. We'll be back for a full season next season and get everything going. You've got the UCL review show coming up on Wednesday. We put
That'll
a
be
special show for that. You know why. We don't need to tell you this. And then we've got some
I need this time
stuff
space.
lined up in the summer, including an international show on Friday. Yes, we've not done that yet. So that'll be good. And we've got some debate shows and weekly news shows coming up in the summer, amongst other things. Keep your ears and eyes peeled. There's a lot coming up for the channel and Sportsmania in general. So you can follow us at official S-Mania on the Twitter machine. You've got Facebook, Discord, TikTok, Instagram, and the WhatsApp group. So you can find us pretty much everywhere. And of course, this channel. Subscribe, like, share, hit the bell to receive notifications so you don't miss a single video over the summer. Abdi, where can people find you on social media?
You can follow me on the Twitter machine at AAbdullahi26 at AABDULLAHI26.
And your time starts now.
Luke, how about you?
On Twitter at UTD fans galore.
Excellent. George?
You can find me at Clock End George and probably on every other YouTube channel.
And in the clock end too.
Yeah, it all depends. Clock End, North Bank, everywhere. Oh,
No, you're in the clock end. Get in the clock end.
things could be
Slash.
changing, but that's what I'm saying. So
You're gonna come North Bank George.
no,
Traitor.
No.
no. But
That's a teaser.
yeah, that's where
We're
you
gonna
can
have to
find me
out more off
or
air.
at
VIP
Georgie
George.
Boy Sullivan on Insta.
All righty. Lottie, where can people find you?
You can find me on the Twitter machine at Lottie_B. That's LOTTIIE_B. And also on Instagram at Lottie B 10, I think it is. LOTTIIE_B10. All on
Fantastic.
Cannon Chatter on YouTube.
Excellent. Give that channel a
Right
watch.
here.
And you can find me on @SubsonicsUK. That's SUBSONIXUK. And you can find our predictions winner at
Darren Anderton. Tick note.
In his bed, thrown up.
Hang on. What do you need? You need my
Your
Twitter.
Twitter name,
your
mate.
Twitter name, like we've done for
And
the
your bank
last
details.
So it's at Sullivan Austin, SULLIVAN AUSTIN.
There you go.
With
He
a
might
cough
change
at
his
the end.
Twitter handle.
Minus the cough. Minus.
Austin,
Yeah,
Put the
going
cough
for
emoji.
Wednesday,
emoji at the back.
while we all will have a good rest after a very hectic season. Well, until Wednesday anyway. We'll see you in a few days' time for
Round
more
on the
chaos.
30th of July.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Bye.